All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome if you are new here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm waiting patiently for the intro to finish up. Michael has gracefully entered the chat. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Erfan, Petrov, Sean, Lady Gamer, Jedi Guy. What is going on? Appreciate you guys being here nice and early. Damn, Erfan. We'll see what we can do. Thank you for sending me the new song, Erfan. We'll see what we can do. I do owe Gaming Survivor. I have to play him. Well, I don't owe him, but like I told him yesterday I'd play a song. I just realized I didn't play it in the intro, but jeez, man. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Beast. He looks really huge and intimidating, but he's like a little baby. Well, he's actually not a baby. He's not like afraid of anything. He just, I don't know. He's just really he's like a gentle giant. Tom said Sony hired bots to defend them. Are they here in the chat too? I don't think so, honestly. you might see some X bots because we are. I mean, it's like I told you guys yesterday. The situation with PlayStation and their physical games, that's not going away, seemingly. So that will just continuously be part of the conversation. It'll be on constant rotation. But I figured today we could try to break it up a little bit. You know, we have some Xbox-related news to go over. We have some GTA-related news. We have a little bit of KOTOR news, KOTOR Remake. Probably not, Erfan. I don't know. I would have to put it back together. I think I may have actually broke the poster board, unfortunately. Yeah. But guys, listen, if you are, I was going to say if you're new here, if you're new to the stream and you haven't hit the like button yet, be sure to hit the like button, okay? It helps the streams out a ton. As you can see in the corner there, I don't know if I'll keep it up the entire time, but I did put out some members content, okay? My first gameplay commentary for members. It's about 30 minutes long. It's very different from my usual content. So if you are a channel member, please go check that out. I'm looking for feedback on it. If you got, like, I'm just trying to figure out if my members actually want this or not, if they actually enjoy it. If so, we can try to make it a somewhat regular thing. And like I said, members content is coming back. So I hope you guys look forward to that. We do have a direct donation from Wacky Racer UG. The $2 direct donation says no Game Pass means even less gamers in the future. Not everyone is a privileged white person. Apparently, you got to be a privileged white person to play on Game Pass, or sorry, to game. Gaming becomes cheap. Buying $80 digital games on locked storefronts. That's the future, baby. Buckle up. Not just for Sony. Xbox is on board too. And you got to be white. Apparently. Sorry. That just, who are you? Who said that? I don't know who this person is. Wacky Racer. That's funny. That is funny though. Whoa, out of pocket. I mean, I don't think we're going to talk about the Game Pass situation. I don't think Game Pass is going away. I don't think it's going away, but I think that the main draw of Game Pass is going away. Yeah. The constant negativity about discs was getting tiresome. Well, I mean, like I said, Michael, it's not going away, but I mean, I was looking at it and I'm like, it would be literally 20 days in a row. And I'm like, I gotta consider talking about other topics at some point. You know what I mean? But no, it's like I said, it's not going away. It's something that I think is going to continue to be a problem, but we'll see where it goes. In the meantime, you know, we're going to fight the good fight. We're going to continue to fight the good fight, but there are other happenings in the industry. And one of the things that is happening right now is Xbox is seemingly kind of, I don't know, fully doing a complete and full 180, which is, I guess, not too shocking to see. But you know. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Hold on. All right. So, hold on. Prince G is a hired Sony bot. Stop it, Prince. No. Discs are RIP, cope, snowflakes. Wrong. Opposite of what you said. Opposite. I counter that. Okay? Straight counter. Is it just me or is the cam down? Was the camera seem lower than normal? I don't think so. It looks normal to me. We have Alvin 9033, a member for 24 months. Thank you for that, Alvin. He says, yo, MBG saw the Odyssey yesterday and the Wolverine trailer played just before the previews. That's a lot of coverage if it's worldwide. Yeah, I mean, that's where I was telling people yesterday, Wolverine is going to do well. You know, the marketing behind that is going to be massive. That's where that's where a huge chunk of the money goes. Oh, there's Luna. Yeah, guys, before we dive into the topics, if you want to support the channel, if you want to support what I do here directly, consider becoming a channel member, gain access to exclusive member content and perks. Consider gifting memberships. If we hit 25 today, we will feed the beast. I also got some catnip. It's been a while, but I have catnip, so we could throw that in the mix too and see which cat gets super insane. Consider dropping a super chat, direct donation. These are all ways in which you can support the channel and support what I do here directly. I'm only able to do what I do because you guys make it possible. So a big thank you and a big shout out to everybody who makes it possible. Luna rules. Luna is cool. Oh, there's Clark. Where did you come from, dude? Where'd you come from? I didn't even know he was down here. The first video game you ever played was boxing on the ColecoVision. Clark, do not try to jump up here. What are you doing? My mustache seems thicker. You're welcome, Michael. You're welcome. Hold on now. What? Things are going a little bit haywire here. Yeah, guys, make sure you hit that like button. Help the stream out. Sorry. Can't help myself. Jesus! Clark! I knew something was going to happen. Whoa! Bro just jumped all the way up to my standing desk. And my God, he, okay. I'm under attack by the cats. All right, here's what I'm going to do. They're like surrounding me. So before we get into the topic discussion, hold on. Look. I got catnip. I'm just a cat stream. I got the catnip. I'm going to deploy it. I'm not waiting. They're getting crazy. Just needs a mullet and I could do some retro videos. All right, hold on. Why are you scared of it? It's catnip. Come here. Okay. I got some weirdo cats, man. I'm over here trying to give them catnip, and they're like, "No, run away." There we go. I don't know if Clark's ever had catnip. MBG, when the F is Sony going to respond? I don't think they're going to, man. I hate to say it, but I don't think Sony's going to respond. I would like them to. We've been asking them to, but they're just trucking along, and I don't think it's going to happen, man. All right. Let's dive into today's discussion. While Sony may be sucking right now, Xbox also sucks. We've talked for years about Game Pass and all this stuff, you know, I've had to deal with hundreds of Xbox fanboys. Yeah, I don't think Clark likes to have to deal with hundreds of Xbox fanboys, and you know, just a lot of pushback over the years about things like Game Pass. I've made myself very clear with things like Game Pass and you know, Microsoft's overall strategy this generation. I've made it clear that I think it's all a mistake. I think it's all bad. So you, aka Mr. Hamster, says, AMBG, look, I did a new and better Leon cosplay. Hold on, let me get a closer look here. Let me get a closer look. Damn. My Leon cosplay was better, Mr. Hamster. No, yours is really good. I like that. It's like a RE9. You got an RE9 Leon going. You remember my cosplay for the Game Awards? Good times. Good times. Xbox sucks harder. Okay, now the cats are getting crazy though. Sony has underestimated millennials and Gen Z, the majority of its base. We like to watch the world burn. Yikes. Yeah, maybe. But we have a report here. Actually, first, we're starting with a audio clip. This is from Jason Schreier. Okay? It's not a long clip, but I'm going to play it. Check out what he says as my cats battle each other. Hold on, it's about to go down. I mean, look at this. And now he's fighting Luna? Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, no, it's not often we have like 3 cats in here battling. That's the big, yeah, it's the big guy. MEG, I can never watch your live streams live anymore. It always lags, at least 10 seconds behind for your stream plays. Does anybody else have this issue? That is strange, Sean, because I always have it set to ultra low latency. I always have it set to ultra low latency. So I'm not sure why it would be a little bit behind for you. But Michael, you're saying this happens to me a lot too, but only on mobile and when you're at the gym. Oh wait, hold on. Dude, boss is trying to come in through the cat hole. And Luna and Clark are blocking it. What is going on? Where's Corey Landiga, bro? Assemble. Cats assemble. All right, hold on. We're going to get to the topic, but I'm just going to do this in good faith that we hit our goal today. All right. We'll see. My room's a zoo. Sorry. You know what? Forget it. We're not talking games today. It's just a cat stream. Shadow Link, you're saying MEG mine does the same. I put it to 240p to stop it from buffering. Still does. Guys, how long has this been an issue? And let me ask: is anybody experiencing this issue? Really? Okay. Is anybody experiencing this issue while they're watching it, like at a desktop or on their TV, or is it just like mobile? It's been months for you, 2 weeks for you, Mako Ninja. Interesting. Okay. Months mobile. All right. Well, here's what I can try. I can't do it today. There's nothing I can do since we're already live. But perhaps. Oh, okay. Perhaps. Geez, boss. On the next stream. I'll tweak the latency and see if those of you who are having issues, we'll see if that corrects it. I do wonder if me having it on ultra low latency affects you guys in that way. So we'll see. I'll do that next stream. I would do it now, but it won't let me change it midstream. Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing of this. That's kind of annoying, though. It's annoying for me. It's annoying for you. Metal Gear is saying it's both on desktop and phone. Okay. Is it time to cave and accept our digital future? Absolutely not. No. No, Nicodemus. Do not go quietly into the night. All right. I'm going to play this clip for you guys. It's an audio clip. It's Jason Schreier on Gamepass. Let me just make sure the audio is going to come through.
I mean, like, is it in jeopardy?
I think they keep it going, but at some point they're just going to remove day one sales because that makes no sense anymore. So, Maddie, to your point earlier, so you take a game like South of Midnight. That's a game that was not exactly like critically acclaimed or anything, but like the people who really loved it. It really spoke to them. And that's a game that costs $40 to buy, but on Game Pass, you can get it for, what was it, $15 a month, $20 a month, whatever it was at the point that game was released. And so it not only is that kind of this put this load on it that it can't really support as being part of the subscription service, trying to grow the subscription, it also is being completely devalued to the point where people might be like, why would I spend $40 on this when I could just get it on the Game Pass service for quote unquote free or for my monthly subscription charge? And that I think happened to a lot of games. And there are a lot of people out there in studio leadership within Xbox who absolutely detest Game Pass and think it has destroyed the value of their games, think it has taken away from the value of all games in general just as a service, and just has contributed a lot of it's been a detriment to the games industry and those people's views because of how it devalues games. And so Netflix, I think, is a little bit different just because the stuff that is getting put in Netflix cannot be bought separately. You cannot go and buy Electric State or whatever. And then there's a bigger argument that we won't get into about how Netflix devalues the movie theater experience in general.
It's too bad, man. I would have that Electric.
So that was like basically the most important part of what Jason Schreier said. He just flat out. Now, again, this is somebody who's probably, I'd say at this point, considered the most reliable insider within the industry. And he's straight up confirming that there are numerous developers and studio heads inside of Xbox that detest, in other words, hate Game Pass. They hate Game Pass. They hate the idea of their games going day one, launching into the service, because they understand. They understand that it's going to, I mean, the way he put it, it's devaluing the games. And this is the, I would say, hole that Phil Spencer has successfully dug Xbox into. And this is why I tell people to be very careful about how much you hype up Asha Sharma, because people were hyping up Phil Spencer. They thought Phil Spencer was going to be the guy after the disastrous Xbox One reveal. He was going to be the guy to come in and fix everything and make it right. And everybody, even including me, within the first couple years, I'm like, this is the guy. this is the best guy they could have gotten for this job. And, give it a decade and we see how it all played out. And, this is where I think we're seeing such a massive turnaround where, you're watching everybody wake up at the same time where it's like, what have we been saying for years? And it's not about like touting that we were right. It's not even about necessarily being right or wrong. It's just about the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is that in order for a big publisher to be successful in the video games industry, they need to sell video games. I know that's crazy to some people, but that's just how it's always been and likely how it always will be, especially if they're making bigger AAA games, with bigger budgets, big marketing budgets. They need to sell them. This is exactly why Call of Duty was removed. This is why Call of Duty was removed from Game Pass. Mini Tom, you're saying, I don't know why, MBG. I feel like YouTube hates me. I won't ever get a membership at all. We've been trying, Mini Tom. We've been trying. You know what I think it is? It's because we haven't been keeping up with memberships in the way that we have the previous months. Probably just because I haven't been pushing them as hard and I haven't really been doing much members content. But we're trying to get back on that train. We're trying to get back in that lane, I should say. I just rhymed there. So we'll see. We got 55 members yesterday. We'll see what we can achieve today. Mini Tom, hopefully it's going to be your time soon. Obviously, I want to encourage anybody, if you don't get a membership gift, but you want to partake in the member content and support what I do here, consider, becoming a member if you can afford it. It really helps me out here. But yeah, this is something that I feel like we have talked about. I mean, come on, you guys were here. You guys were here with me the whole time. You saw the sheer frustration and constant gaslighting that I had to deal with from so many different corners of the internet, from so many different individuals, where I was out here, and I wasn't the only one, to be clear. Again, this isn't about me, oh, I was right and they were wrong. No, like there was me and there were quite a few others where we were kind of painted as the anti-consumer shills or whatever, the people who, we don't want the good deal from Microsoft. And it's like, it's not that. It's just we're trying to view it through the lens of how is this going to work? How is this going to work? I know everybody hated Jim Ryan, but when Jim Ryan said, yeah, we can't do that because that's not sustainable. And I get it. The alternative is, well, what is sustainable? $70, $80, $90, $100 games. And that's a whole nother problem that the entire industry has to figure out. But, the whole Game Pass thing, I'm kind of glad that it's coming to an end because it really did annoy me throughout the years. Where it's like, just admit it. You hate Game Pass or whatever. It's like, no, it's not that. To be honest, I never hated Game Pass. I hated the fact that people were acting like their head was in the clouds with Game Pass. That's what bothered me, mainly from the fanboys. It's like, there's no way you guys think this is going to work. Like, listen, unless they suddenly, sure, put Starfield in Game Pass. Maybe that's going to do it. Oh. Put Starfield in Game Pass. Maybe that's going to greatly increase subscribers. Oh, it didn't. All right, well then Call of Duty. Call of Duty's got to do it. If Call of Duty can't do it, what will? And I kind of had a feeling going into it that I'm like, I don't know that Call of Duty's going to save it. Let's see what happens. But there it is. Call of Duty didn't save Game Pass. It's a fascinating thing because the thing is, I don't know that I could really, truly look at Phil Spencer and be like, what an imbecile. I don't know that I can do that because from his perspective, he was looking at other industries and looking at consumer behavior and thinking, well, this is kind of what people want. They want convenience. They want it cheap. Let's give it to them. And it's like, well, how is this going to be sustainable? Well, the idea is our value, our deal becomes so, so irrefutable that we get 80, 90, 100 million people in. So it's like, it's not like the worst idea on paper, but I feel like the problem is Phil looked at other industries and didn't realize, like, yeah, that's not the games industry, man. The games industry operates differently. It always has, and I think it always will. there will always be overlap, but I don't know. It's interesting to see it come to an end like this. Cheese, you're saying nobody is buying State of Decay South of Midnight. I love how you have to start with State of Decay. Bust my balls. Starfield, Hi-Fi Rush, Avowed, or all the other games that go to Game Pass. What's the alternative? Well, that's exactly what we're seeing now, Cheese. The alternative is what Asha Sharma is now putting into effect, which is basically cutting all that out. All the artsy-fartsy stuff, all the AA games that were meant to feed Game Pass, cut it, end it, wrap it up, ship it out. By ship it out, I mean sell it. Not to consumers, but sell to studios, right? They're now doubling down on what Sony basically doubled down on at the beginning of this generation, which is our bigger properties, the established franchises, the things that are going to sell, basically. That's why Bethesda Game Studios is now only going to be working on Fallout and the Elder Scrolls. Why? Because those are the games that are going to sell. No Starfield. We're not worried about Starfield 2. We're not doing anything smaller. This is why Obsidian is now being tasked with making a Fallout game. And we're getting remasters and remakes. It's because it's the only thing that's seemingly going to work. Well, I think we're going to get Wolfenstein. Yeah, actually. Yeah, to be clear, I think we are still going to get more. You're right. Wolfenstein, I think, is going to survive and be part of that rotation, potentially. They'll at least give it a chance. And Ray with the $5 super chat says, MBG, I'm pissed about Fallout 3. I'm pissed that Fallout 3 will have a physical edition and Fallout New Vegas won't if they come to PlayStation due to the cutoff date of risk of production. What the fuck, PlayStation? I mean, that's what makes, again, it makes the conversations so awkward because it's like PlayStation players can continue to operate as they would have for the next year and a half buying their physical games, but just any game, like there's people praying that certain games, like you're saying here, come before January 2028 so we can get that physical version. I just... Don't get me started, Ray. I got people coming into the chat that are like, finally, he's giving it a rest. We're going to get a break. And Ray's like, you know what? Fired up. Can't do it. No, but I mean, I guess we'll see what the timelines are. I mean, yeah, truthfully, you're probably right, Ray. The timeline is, I don't think Fallout New Vegas is going to get a physical release in time. All right. Phil had a run of bad luck with Xbox Studios. A bunch of big games had to get set back or come out buggy at 30 frames. I mean, there was just so much. I think that Phil was in over his head ultimately, where it's like, it seemed to me that Phil was convinced that Xbox couldn't compete with Sony at their own game. And I think ultimately that's the major mistake that Phil made. Is like, okay, if it was going to take 10 years, right? It's just going to take 10 plus years. You got to buy the studios. You got to give the studios the years, the funding to make these games. I just think that his fatal flaw was, what if we condition people to not buy games and then we can justify that by making smaller AA or indie games? And it's like, you should look at what Sony and Nintendo do, at least especially Sony in this case, and just try to emulate that as best you can. Now, I'm not saying copy their games, but the model. And Phil was like, no, we want to be the Netflix of gaming. And I'm like, I don't, how is that going to work? And, to be fair, in the beginning, in like 2018, 2019, 2020, I thought maybe we'll see. Maybe it will grow. And, you go back, you look at the fans, a lot of the fanboys, the Xbox fanboys, they're like, absolutely, this is going to work. And Cheese, you're saying, why did you get so upset then about Hi-Fi Rush if it's artsy-fartsy crap? So they were right to shutter them now since they had great sales. Well, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with like artsy-fartsy games. I think a lot of them are some of the best games. My problem is that I could see what Microsoft's end game was. I could see through the facade, you know, the illusion that they tried to create, which was they were really trying to make it seem like we're on your side. We're on the developer side. We want that creativity. We're on the consumer side. And I'm like, I don't know, Microsoft. I don't know, Xbox. I've been following you for a long time. I'm not convinced of this because I know what your ambition is. And also I know your parent company, Microsoft. I know what their ambition is. This isn't adding up. This isn't making sense. And to me, it always seemed like because of how hard they tried. Maybe if they were more subtle about it, it would have been more believable. Hold on. Sorry, guys. My freaking neck. If they were more subtle about it, maybe they could have done a better job. But I feel like that was kind of the part of it that became genuinely annoying. Yeah, exactly. It felt like kind of like a narrative that was being pushed. So I think what just makes it so bad, it's not insane to think Hi-Fi Rush was not deemed good enough. It's not insane to think it didn't do well enough, it didn't make enough money, didn't get enough sales, whatever. That's not difficult to fathom. What is difficult to fathom is that Microsoft themselves came out and were basically saying like, yeah, this did great. This hit all of our numbers, and you know, it's the first game that's gotten some awards in years for Xbox. And it seemed like there was a kind of like a real passion, or not passion, a real sense of value behind the game in the studio. You know? There was a real, I guess, feeling behind it of they care about this game doing well, even if it just is mostly about it getting good reviews, making players happy, and, you know, winning some awards. What happened? What happened? What is going on? Why is somebody saying my eyes? It's normal now. It's good now. What the hell happened? I can't. They're messing with me. I can't talk about Xbox. They're messing me up. A spike in brightness. Hold on, let me see if I can. I'll lower the brightness of the lamps in the background. Maybe that's like triggering it or something. I don't know. We'll see what that does. I don't think so. I don't think that had anything to do with it, actually. Sorry about that. I had no idea that even happened. Very stupid. Very, very stupid. Stupid stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, boss is boss is enjoying the catnip. We got a ghost in here? All right, here's what we'll do. If there's a spirit in here right now, in my presence, in this room with me, flicker one of the lights. Flicker any of the lights. Okay. All right, so I think it was just a glitch, guys. I turned white for a second. Yeah, because I'm normally black. We got Josh Nuggets. We need to get Josh Nuggets a membership. It's that time again. We need to get Mini Tom and Josh memberships. Right when I said that, Ray, you got a phone call? Yeah, I did that. I blame Matt Booty. How is Matt Booty still at Xbox? How is Matt Booty still at Xbox, man? But yeah, it's just, you look at how things have turned out, and it is again, it is good to see now that Xbox is on the same page where. Did you guys see that? Okay, now I'm freaked out. Y'all just saw that, right? We have Cheese with a 10-pound super chat. Thank you, Cheese. He says, for me, this is just the industry becoming more and more difficult harder for someone to get into. Game Pass is not for all, but some it's the only way. We're all getting pushed to locked higher prices and no options. I mean, I agree. Here's my thing about Game Pass, though, right? Like, what made Game Pass good in the eyes of people who supported it when it was being pushed, what made it good is how affordable it was. And I always agreed. I always said, like, yeah, like if I had any level of confidence, it would stay that way. And Microsoft was just like, yeah, we'll just make it work. We'll just eat the cost. I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to. But it's just the understanding, I suppose, that was never going to happen. That even if Game Pass succeeded in a way that Microsoft wanted, which is like, we got 60, 70 million subscribers, the prices would just continue to go up. I mean, we just look at Netflix. I mean, this is where you can see, and not just Netflix, but all of the subscriptions. It's like, I mean, unfortunately, yeah, what you're describing, Cheese, is, what people now call the enshittification of everything. And it does suck. I mean, if you can afford it, awesome. You get to partake, you get to be in. And this is why we've been having this kind of more overarching discussion that kind of revolves around this notion of, as we go forward, as things change the way that they are, it becomes more and more clear to, I think, every gamer, every customer, every consumer, that it's becoming more about knowing where the line is, and you're either in or you're out. And unfortunately, yeah, like I said, the things that we like, the things that we enjoy. But see, here's the irony of it, though. There's kind of like a weird alternative. It's not weird. I call it weird because it doesn't interest me. But the alternative here, Cheese, is there's like free-to-play games. You can pick up an iPad, iPhone, smartphone, any device really, and you can download some of the most popular free-to-play games to play. So in a sense, you're like not left out. But it does feel like, with, I think, people like me and you and many others, we're not interested in that type of stuff. We're interested in the better stuff, or I don't know if you call it better. I'm not trying to be too demeaning here, but that stuff that we're interested in, it does feel like it's becoming harder and harder to get into. Thank you, Erfan, for screen capping that for me. Damn. Okay, yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen again. Talk about an oversaturation of lighting. Sheesh. So Game Pass, I think, here's like the bigger thing I want to acknowledge about Game Pass, though. And this is just purely about the business side. You know how we've been talking about PlayStation, and when you look at what PlayStation's doing, no matter how upset I get and how angry I get, how upset you get, how upset everybody gets, it is kind of this broader understanding that, well, there is a rhyme and there is a reason. And when we look at that rhyme and that reason, it does start to make more sense. It doesn't necessarily make it any better. It doesn't make it any less annoying. But it does kind of reveal the harsh truth. And the harsh truth is that everything that's happening is, it kind of is like, collectively as consumers, this is the way we wanted it. So this is the way we're getting it. And that's why when you talk about so you know how people talk about the games industry crashing? That's like a big thing. The games industry crash. And I'm like, I don't know about that one, guys. I don't know about that one. I'll explain what I mean in a second. We have Armani Pepsi Coleman with a $2 chat. He says, Wolverine combat is fast. I like the bull rush. Yeah. I will say, Wolverine, he's more agile. Well, I mean, he's always been agile, but I think Insomniac, based off of what I've seen from the combat, they've done a good job retaining like the brutality of his combat, but also not making it feel like very slow, and overly weighty. Cheese, you're saying with a £5 chat, Tencent is about to drop 1.5 billion on Superplay. This is from Gaming Leaks. They made Disney Solitaire. These companies see mobile and tablet as the future, like you said. I mean that. Yeah, I that's why I think like when we talk about the more traditional side of gaming, everything is getting more and more expensive because these companies, they look at this stuff like even Sony's trying to get involved in mobile games, like with the Ratchet and Clank game, MLB the Show mobile. They have a Destiny mobile game, and it's like they look at the mobile crowd and they're like, oh, hell yeah. They don't want customers and consumers that are conscientious. But I don't know. I want to maintain some level of hope, but yeah, at least in the short term, it's not looking great. I might have to sit down. My neck's already acting up. According to app figures, Disney Solitaire earned an estimated $2 million in net revenue during its partial launch month. Well, not even the full launch. By May, it was at $11 million. February isn't over yet, but based on 25 days of our data, our estimates put Disney Solitaire at $21 million in net revenue with 5.1 million downloads. That's 23 times what Candy Crush Solitaire earned in the same month. In just 11 months, Disney Solitaire has earned an estimated $137 million in net revenue. Net revenue, that's profit. Oh my God. It's over. I mean, I'm laughing, but it's actually crying on the inside. Here, hold on. Let me grab my chair. I'm going to have to sit down. I'll have to lean back. There's a cat on my chair. Okay, boss, like there's more than enough space for two cats up there. Sorry, Papa. What's boss's problem? He's all jacked up on the catnip. Well, I tried to stand for as long as I could. All right. Let me get sorted here. Okay. Where was I at? Titus, you're saying your wife plays those games sometimes? Maybe she's played it. Well, Josh says the AAA industry is absolutely going to crash and Nintendo will be the only major company that survives it. Well, the reason why I'm not sure there's going to be a games industry crash is because I think it's going to... Well, I feel like when we use the term like crash, it sounds very dramatic. Like, I think an argument could be made that the crash is already kind of happening when you look at all the bad things that are happening at one time, the cascading events that have been kind of playing out over the last couple years. But I think that maybe industry crash is the wrong term because a crash implies a kind of reset, starting over. I think the right word to use is transformation. An industry transformation is taking place. Yo, it's Buzz says I'm calling my son Atreus. Okay. Jeez, thank you for the super chats, man. You're saying 8 billion people on the planet, 8.8 billion mobile phones, only 90 million PS5s in comparison. Makes sense to go for the larger market for gaming mobile. But what's interesting, because, yeah, I mean, it's just the math of it, right? It, logically speaking, it's like, yeah, go after the bigger pie, go after the bigger audience. it's funny to think that that's what Microsoft tried to do and it didn't work. And I don't know that this transformation I'm referring to, what's it? You're saying it'll be an elitist hobby. I mean, maybe that is the transformation. The transformation is, if you're in, you are spending a lot. Maybe they were simply early. People don't buy phones to game. People buy PlayStation to game. And that's true. And that's kind of the thing, though, right? Is like, on that side of the industry, the side that I'd say we're on, I think that notion is what's driving the transformation of, well, we're going to ask for more now. We're going to get more out of each customer. Maybe there are no more new customers, or there's very few new customers. And so in order to keep doing this, or to make it sustainable from a business perspective, businesses have to constantly grow. They have to constantly produce results. We have to charge more. We have to keep squeezing, keep nudging, right? The nudge theory. Now they're not even nudging. They're just straight up trying to rob you. I mean, that goes further in one direction. And I think it gets further and further away from the opposite direction, obviously, which is the mobile side, the free-to-play side. This is where you have to wonder if Sony found success in live service, like they balaclava theory now. If Sony found success with live service in the way that they had hoped, how much would that have completely fundamentally changed their entire business model? I just start to get the feeling that Sony and Microsoft, and I don't know about Nintendo, maybe Nintendo is the only one, maybe Josh is right about that. I just start to get more and more the feeling that Sony and Microsoft, they kind of want out, but they can't get out. You get what I'm saying? Where it's like, Microsoft made it clear that they wanted to reach billions of gamers on their phones. How's that going for them? I mean, sure, you bought Candy Crush, but outside of that, how's it going for you? It's really not. Oh, okay. At least as far as I can tell. It's not, they're not succeeding in the way that they had hoped. And then Sony, they establish a mobile division. They fail to do anything. They try to make these mobile games. None of them really take off. And I don't know. I feel like they just kind of want to, they're in a position of like, it's either go big, from their perspective, it's like go big or go home, which is why you're seeing Sony do everything they're doing and banking on Wolverine, banking on GTA 6 on their platform. You see Microsoft slimming down, and trimming all the fat, so to speak, and making it clear that, like, yeah, we're not doing things like that anymore. We're go big or go home now. And it kind of sucks for the gamer ultimately. Like, I think where a lot of people feel frustrated right now, at least I do, and I know a lot of you guys do too, because I've seen it in my chat. I see it all over, is people are just getting frustrated where it's like the industry, not the industry, but this side of gaming was always meant to be more accessible than this, And that, I think, is just starting to really become clear to people that, it sounds like you're making a joke, but it's not a joke when it's like we're headed towards a digital only closed ecosystem. You're going to pay more for less future, not just with Sony, but with Sony and with Microsoft. And it's difficult to determine how it will play out for Nintendo, but there's certainly a real possibility that in the long run, the same thing will happen with Nintendo. And then there's PC, and PC has the benefit of like, well, it's open and you have more freedom. But in reality, when everybody goes to Steam, it's like, well, until, again, the law intervenes, legislation comes in, changes it, and gives people digital, like basically forces Steam, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, anytime you buy a digital game, you own that game. Until that day comes, you know, like, I mean, could we see a future where you could somehow sell your digital games? I don't know, man. I know a lot of people still want to be positive about the industry, and that's the saddest part about this, is that, like, on the flip side, the industry from a game perspective doesn't look bad at all. It's the business around it that's bad. And it's just such a shitty place to be in as a fan of gaming, as an enthusiast of gaming, but also as somebody who's paying very close attention. It's impossible to now ignore the business side of it, where, like, dude, these games look incredible. There's, like, more great games coming out than ever before. But when you look at the business side, it's like, geez, man, we are being squeezed more and more. Cheese with another super chat says, for context, 2025 mobile gaming generated an estimated $108 to $113.3 billion, accounting for about 55% of the total global games market. Jeez, 55%? That's more than half. More than double that of console revenue for the last year. Well, it's interesting. Titus responds to that by saying, we will always be served. I mean, I agree, but it's like crazy how now it is, listen, we're going to serve you, but it's going to be more expensive now. I don't know that I truly believe mobile gaming is the future. I do think that depending on how sophisticated and intuitive engaging with games on your phone or your mobile device becomes, that could play a role in it. But I do think that it's very clear that there's a side to gaming that I don't think is going to die. Far from it. But I do think that, yeah, like we're saying, like, more and more people are going to be filtered out. And those who are getting filtered out, I don't even think they want to. They don't want to be filtered out. They want to partake. They want to be part of it. I mean, here's what I'm interested to know about. We were talking about Xbox. Asha Sharma said earlier this year, she says, we're going to have radically different business models come into play starting later this year. And she said that in reference to finding a way to get more people in. And I'm really genuinely curious what that looks like, because I'm like, well, you tried cloud gaming. You tried putting your platform everywhere you could, on phone, on mobile, on PC. You've tried to put Gamepass everywhere. What else could you do? And I genuinely don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe partnering with other platforms or something, or like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And we have a direct donation that I missed from Perfect Image. I'm sorry about that, buddy. He says, good afternoon, MB Gangsta. I don't know if you know you can use a PS5 controller in Steam and GOG. You don't need a keyboard. Keep buying and you're saying keep buying physical until you can. No, I know that. And it's funny because I was thinking, like, if I were to do any gaming on PC at any point, would I use a DualSense or an Xbox controller? I love the DualSense, but I can't deny I've always liked the Xbox controller. It's true. I've always loved the Xbox controller. I don't know. No, I guess I'd probably use a DualSense for now, because I have a bunch of those. I have way more DualSenses than I do Xbox controllers. I don't even have like a modern Xbox controller. I don't even know where my Xbox controllers are at this point, to be honest. And we have a Cheese with another super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, it's not the future, it's the now. LOL. What are you talking about? It makes twice the console business. It's the most played form of gaming in terms of hours. Also, we will always play the traditional way. Well, I guess I just mean, like, when I talk about it taking over in the future, I mean literally to a point where it's kind of like when we talk about physical and digital games. You know, like, you could see how there was like a turning point with physical and digital games where like this is the moment when the majority of people switched over to buying digital. And you can clearly see that. And then it was just all downhill from there to where we are now, where now the vast majority of people buy digital. I don't know if it's going to be the same type of curve, you know, on a graph, so to speak, with like more traditional gaming versus mobile gaming. I could be wrong though. I mean, to be clear, I do agree that it is mobile gaming. It is a dominant form in the sense that look at how much money it's raking in. Look at how much time people are spending on mobile games. You know, you see the biggest live service games in the world all make sure they have a mobile version. Yeah, I mean, dude, yeah, PUBG Mobile. It truly is like it's an area in gaming that I think no matter what, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo are obviously going to need to be involved in, just because they can, like as companies, as publicly traded companies, I don't think they can ignore that, you know. But I guess there's just kind of hope in me that one doesn't have to come at the cost of the other. I'm not sure that I fully believe that. I mean, at the rate things have gone, I've been wrong about so many things, and I wouldn't be totally surprised if I was wrong about this too. Sony's going to work on that Concord mobile game. Buttery Cheeks with a $5 chat says, MBG, don't hate me. I hate you. But as a tech enthusiast, I'm excited for the PS6 and next-gen games. I have a beefy gaming PC as well, but I love Sony first party. I'm not going to hate you, man. I don't know. Like, a lot of people are feeling a bit upset with me because they feel like I have this kind of like I've given up mentality. It's not that I've given up. It's just I'm trying to just settle into operating within reality. And what that looks like currently is it's the long game. It's the long drawn out game. If you're excited for the PS6, I'm not going to be the guy to tell you not to be excited for the PS6. If you're excited for Project Helix, I'm not going to be the guy to tell you not to be excited for Project Helix. If you're the guy that says I hate all this shit and I'm going to mobile gaming, all right, I'm going to hate you for that. No, but I'm not. Do what you want. Do what you want. You know, I am doing what I want, and that is I've tried my hardest, and I will continue to try to let Sony know that I would really like them to do what I believe is right. I know it's maybe not the smartest business move on paper, but it's like I would just like to see some of these companies give a single shit about garnering any level of goodwill. You know, and that's I think that's just the most depressing part of all. It's like these companies used to be obsessed with trying to earn goodwill, and now they can't be bothered. None of them. I mean, you're seeing Microsoft try to do it right now, but even they're struggling because they're like, listen, we still got to operate as a business. I mean, look at what happened. Like, they're like, here's our showcase. Wasn't that amazing? We got exclusives. Wasn't that amazing? Anyway, shut that shit down. Shut that down. We're heads are rolling. And it's like, it was going so well for a minute there. And they're like, yeah, but it's reality. It's kind of crazy to spend thousands of dollars or $1,000 on a console for a few exclusives that you want to own. That's the shitty nature of it, you know? Like if you're a person like Buttery Cheeks, my assumption is if Buttery Cheeks buys a PS6 and is mainly doing it because they want the first party games. I mean, I don't know if that'll be like their main place to play instead of a beefy gaming PC, but the idea of somebody buying, you know what my question to that is will you need a PS6 to play those first party games? That's a question I have. I think it's a question a lot of people have. Like, if you already have a PS5 or a PS5 Pro and Sony announces, like, pretty much for the first 3 years or more, depending on how it goes, our first-party games are going to be cross-gen, you know? Even somebody like me would, if I wanted to, I could still say, okay, yeah, sure. there's something looming in the distance, and I think you guys can sense it too. Certainly, there's something, and I don't know. It sounds ominous, and perhaps it is, but there is something looming in the distance with these next gen devices, with both the PS6 handheld, and Project Helix. There's something very peculiar looming out there that it's not, we can't see it clearly yet. The clearest view we've gotten so far is with Sony announcing the game disc thing where they're ending it. That's like the clearest, that's the only thing that's in focus right now. But I'm saying this because, like, I could see things just straight up collapsing. And I don't think it'll be an industry crash. I think we could see a console market crash if we're not already in the process of witnessing that. I don't think we're going to witness that now because of GTA 6. And, there's a really strong holiday season. There's 90 plus million PS5s out there. There's probably 30 million Xboxes out there. Switch 2's selling well. But I think, like, I could see next generation with both the PS6 and the Project Helix. I could see them just both crashing and burning. Yeah, it's like, yeah, let's see how fucked up things can get. And the thing is, I am the type, you guys know me. You guys have been, following me. For those of you who've been following me for a while, you know that, like, I'm not the person to really come to that conclusion that often with things. Like, I'm just not the person that, comes out and is like, yeah, I think it's just doomed. Like, sometimes I do with certain things, but especially with the idea of a PlayStation 6, like, it takes a lot for me. Keep in mind, like 3 years ago when we would reference the idea of a PS6 and next gen, I thought, like, yeah, it's going to be great. Absolutely. Like, it's only going to get better. Where I am now, I'm like, dude, I think these things are going to blow up. Like, they're going to crash. Sparky Nuts, you're saying MBG Spawn Wave interviewed Matt Piscatella, and he said dedicated console hardware is going to shrink massively in the future, and Sony knows it. And I mean, yeah, like, I feel that way too. And it's like, what is Sony going to do? Is this why? Is this why Sony's like, we're not giving up on live service games? Is Sony in this position where they're like, we're going to get rid of physical, we're going to squeeze our console players and charge more for as long as we can, and we're just going to keep pursuing live service games as our way out? Is Jim Ryan going to end up being right in that Jim Ryan's obsession seems to have been live service games? That's our way out. That's how we evolve. I don't know. I just thought PlayStation was different, man. And maybe I am foolish for thinking that. But there's just a part of me that just thought, like, this, they're not going to let it, like, they're not going to let that happen. But I don't know. I guess from their perspective, they're like, we're not letting it happen. It is just happening. And I guess to be fair, like, for both Sony and Microsoft, yeah, and it's not just them. It's also for Nintendo and PC. It's not really any of their faults that, at least with the hardware side of things, it's like there's a memory crisis, there's a RAM crisis, there's a component crisis, and nobody knows how long it's going to last. That isn't necessarily their fault. Maybe it's a little bit Microsoft's fault with the AI push, but yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The things we used to look at as not consumer friendly seem laughable now, right? And again, the irony, or maybe not, I don't know if it's irony as much as it's just the kind of dichotomy of it, is like, gaming doesn't look bad right now. At least in my opinion. I think that there are a lot of fantastic games coming out. A lot of, a lot of developers, I'd say, were doing some great things, but it's all jumbled into this depressing ball of just, for every good thing that you see, there's like 2 or 3 bad things just surrounding it that have now become almost impossible to ignore. And it really does seem like this industry, and maybe this is the biggest conclusion I can come to, it seems like the games industry no longer favors the enthusiast in any capacity. Like, if you're an enthusiast, you're gonna kind of suffer the most, in a sense. You're gonna suffer more than the person who's not an enthusiast, but just is kind of involved here and there. You're gonna suffer more than the casual, because the casual, they're not thinking about it. And you almost feel a little bit jealous, in a sense, where it's like, man, I wish I could kind of be, I don't know, how does the saying go? Ignorance is bliss. I wish I could sometimes engage with video games the same way I engage with movies and TV, but I also don't. When it comes to movies and TV, I don't care. Like, I'm not a, what's they call a cinephile or whatever. I'm just not in it like that. Like, I saw there was the Avengers Doomsday trailer that came out, and I'm like, I'll watch it at some point. I'll check the trailer out at some point. Oh, the Odyssey just came out. Okay, probably not gonna watch that. Like, I'm just not into it that way. It doesn't mean I don't watch movies at all. Doesn't mean I don't watch TV at all. I do, but there's no real passion there. With games, for me, it is different, and it's like the last thing I have that I feel like passionate about to that level. Where I'm still really holding on, and that's where it's like, the giant meltdowns and mental breakdowns I've been having over the past couple weeks, that's where it comes from. It's because it's like I'm starting to feel more and more like it is either, okay, well, if you want to continue to feel that passionate about this industry and video games, here's how you're going to pay for it. And if you decide that that's wrong, or that's not fair, or it's just not balanced, you can stop caring. You can leave, and I hate that, because I'm like, dude, I don't, like, that's happened with so many other things already. It's like, what, like, does it really have to be this too? And so, that's kind of the awkward place to exist in. And I don't know, some would say it's just called getting older. But Cheese, you're saying, and that's my point, they want the casuals / mobile. Yeah. And that's, I think that is an apt point, because, I mean, it is true. Like, the people who are enthusiastic about it and the people who do care the most, we can be difficult. But we're difficult because we care. We're difficult because we want things to be balanced. We want them to be fair. And, I just think a lot of times it becomes clear to these companies and to even the shareholders, perhaps, that they can tap into a different audience, a different type of person, that you can kind of take advantage of them and they won't care. They won't even know. They're not even paying enough attention to know. And it does feel like, it feels like that's where, because a company like Sony, perhaps, and Microsoft, they have failed to tap into that other market. They failed to tap into these markets, and so now they're left with, okay, well, our only prospect of growth is to upcharge you, like, upsell you, not upsell you, just upcharge you now. I had it right the first time. That's why it's been painful to watch PlayStation this generation. And I mean that. It really has been, because it's not all been bad, but for the things that were bad, they were egregiously bad. Where it's like, why did Sony fail with live service this badly? Because that's how utterly desperate they were to find a new audience. And that just sucks. You know? Like, why do you need a new audience that badly when you're doing well in this area? Because it's not enough. It's never enough, man. It's never enough. Nicodemus, you're saying, ABG, I admit, if I didn't get on X or watch gaming streams, I would still be on PS5, loving life and not knowing anything had changed. I usually buy digital anyways. I mean, and that's, I mean, it almost feels, that's exactly what I was saying. It's like, it feels like it doesn't pay to be aware, to pay attention, to know what's actually going on. All it does is make you realize, yeah, it's just the ignorance is bliss type thing. All it does is make you realize that you're probably being taken advantage of in a way you didn't even know, and you just kind of wish you didn't, because now that you know, you can't not know. You can't unsee it. And so you're left with this option of like, now you just have to, if you want to continue to partake in whatever it is you want to partake in, you have to do so knowing that you're being taken advantage of and exploited. And so you're complicit, you know, and that's why, again, that's why so many people are frustrated with PlayStation players right now. No, pushing polygons, we haven't discussed that yet. I'm gonna get to that probably soon. I don't know if today's stream will be as long because I'm already sitting down in the chair because my neck's killing me. Tried to do some physical therapy yesterday, and I think it's good, right? Like I think it's helping, but it causes some pain, certainly. I think it's good pain. Ignorance is just ignorance. Just because you don't know you're on fire doesn't mean you aren't. Yeah, that's and eventually it all comes to a head. You know, something falls on you or something, you know, terrible happens, and then you're like, whoa, what the hell? You know, you're like, those people are like blindsided, and it's like, I mean, those who were paying attention saw it coming from a mile away. You know? Cheese, you're saying, I bet Sony hates fanboys more than anything because they probably spend less only buying brand IP. They'd want them spending more on the PlayStation Store. Yeah, dude, I think you're right. I think that it depends on what type of fanboy. Like, Sony probably hates the fanboy, like you're saying, that it's like, I love the first party IP, the single player. I think current Sony hates the PlayStation fan and this is why I got so pissed over the last couple of weeks. And I'm still pissed. I'm just in pain today. I think Sony hates the most, like, loyal fans. And by loyal, I mean the ones who were there for the longest time. You know? And that's, to me, that's fucking absurd. But I think it's true. You know, I think those players are now considered to them a thorn in the side. It's like, listen, you either shut up and just buy everything we have to offer and accept, okay? Or leave walk away. And I hate that, like, it is sad, man, because I think a lot of people who grew up with PlayStation, I feel like I'm one of these people, but I see a lot of these people on Twitter and stuff, and they're posting their collections, and it's like very clear, like, man, these guys spent a lot of time and money. They hate Rich Rod, yeah. They spent a lot of time and money on investing, basically, into this brand over the years, and rather than be rewarded for it, they're being punished, essentially. It's like, they're like held in contempt, and it's like, what the fuck is this supposed to achieve? I don't know. Like, it funnels back into the same conversation. It's like, I can't stop thinking about it because I'm like, this is crazy to me. And then Rich Rod immediately shows up. We were saying Sony loves you, Rich. They love you. no one showed up for Soros. I think Sony knows the old fans stopped buying the way they used to. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just tired of it always feeling like it's never good enough for Sony. You know, I mean, they have failures occasionally, just like every other gaming company does. It's not shocking. I just, in other news, it looks like Alpha Dog Studios got free from Microsoft. Another good story for gaming. Alpha Dog Studios, who is that? It sounds kind of familiar. Was that a Bethesda studio? It's like an old people. It's like old people in a home. I mean, Sony Japan is gone. That's the problem. Yeah. I don't know. I know I'm gonna sound I'm on the verge of becoming flippant, but I just feel like the industry needs to collapse under its own weight. You know, this is why when people talk about the PS6 to me, I get it. Like I'm not. There's no bullshit right now. There's no. You know, I'm not all revved up. I'm not being overly emotional. It's like, oh, you're gonna be a day one PS6 buyer, and it's like, I'm actually leaning more towards. I think I'd rather just see it come to an end. You know. I know that sounds really shitty to say, but I mean that for both PlayStation and Xbox, and I don't think I could say the same thing for Nintendo, because it kind of did come to an end for Nintendo with the Wii U, and then they just were like, we're doing something totally different, and we're out, and then now they're just doing their own thing. Well, I don't know that I want the consoles to die. I don't mean literally. I just mean, like, if this is the only way it can work, I am ready for something new. And I guess what I'm trying to say here, Erfan, is I don't know that I'm opposed to the idea of Sony and maybe Microsoft. Maybe Microsoft already had their Wii U moment, but Sony in this case having their Wii U moment, where it's like, you really didn't think this through. Your next gen console is a failure, and you have to now figure out how you're going to turn it around and save it. I'm not opposed to that at this point at all, because I just feel like these companies need to be humbled in that way. I want to be careful about what I say here, because I don't want it to become political, and we're not talking politics, but I just need it to be understood, and I think a lot of you guys understand this, that when we look at the sheer levels of greed that these companies are exuding unapologetically, they're not even trying to hide it. There's a bigger picture here that becomes uncomfortable to look at, where it's like, is it Sony in isolation? Is Sony truly the evil company driven by greed? Well, I mean, yes, but no, it's not literally just Sony. That's what I'm trying to say here. It's not literally just Microsoft. It's everything, man. It's the entire market. It's the consumer world. We're just at a breaking point, man. And it's not just the games industry. We have reached some kind of dystopic end, like, I don't want to say full end game, but like the beginning of the end game, I suppose. Where, look around, man. It's like people have been buying this, like, look at smartphones. Look at upgrading to a smartphone. It's look at how desperate. I mean, the thing is, it's like, it's not just late stage capitalism. It's also we've reached a kind of end stage of, I don't want to say technological advancement, but innovation, where we have spent the last like 50 to 60 years, like there's just all these areas to just constantly innovate in. Computers, smartphones, tablets, the internet itself, social media, video games, graphics, AI in video games, and you start to, like, if you look around, you start to realize that it's all kind of hit a collective wall. And it's because it's slowed down to a crawl. We're like, okay, what does innovation actually look like now? Exactly. You're saying, well, it's all going into AI now. Exactly. That's why I try to tell people, like, AI is not a bubble that's going to burst. AI is literally the only thing left. That if that doesn't work, then the only option, if that doesn't work, is to find a new way to I was going to say a new way to progress, but I don't even know that it's that. I think at this point, it's almost like there still is quantum computing, and that's going to be that combined with AI. I mean, fuck, man. We're going to be living in GTA. For real. Don't get me started. Do not get me started, okay? You can tell I'm on the verge. I'm on the precipice here of getting into a very deep conversation. But, well, here's the thing. Something has to happen. And something will happen. I don't think the upcoming generations are going to... You're already seeing it, is what I'm trying to say. You're already seeing, like, look on YouTube, look on social media. How many videos do you come across of people either your age or younger, usually young, ironically, like they're younger, being like, I want to spend less time on the internet. I want to not use a smartphone. I want to disconnect. I want to, like, do this and do that, and just getting, like, away from this, because they've all realized that it's all turned into just one kind of sick, what's the word I'm looking for here? Trap, I guess. That's the word. And that it's just disturbing when you look at it this way. And I know it sounds so fear-monger like, but it's I'm not saying you have to be scared of it. You just have to understand it. If you're okay with it, that's fine. Like, oh, I'm not scared of it. I actually like it. Maybe some people do like it. But it just is like, it's like, yeah, look at the algorithms. What is the purpose of the algorithm? The purpose of the algorithm is to literally keep you captured. Why? Because this is what the system has molded itself around. Where it used to be not about spending your time, but just simply spending your money. There was like kind of this middle ground of like, we don't expect to have all your time and we don't expect to have all your money. We expect to have a certain amount of your money and a certain amount of your time. And that was enough to make it work. But this is where the wall has been hit, where it's like, well, we need more. How can we get more? Well, hey, advertising's always been a thing. There's always money in advertising. And it's ironic because, yes, it's part of what I do here on YouTube too. But it's like, well, if we can keep people engaged longer, we could probably get more ads in front of them. And if we can get more ads in front of them, we can make more money. And those who are doing the advertising have a higher chance of selling their product. Never mind the fact that the product they're trying to sell you already exists. You probably already own it. You probably already have it. You definitely don't need it. Yes, it is rooted in a lot of the end stages of capitalism. It's not completely that way. I mean, there are layers to it though. Like I think people have this idea that it's like some simple thing. It's actually not. It's a very complex, layered machine with so many moving parts that it's like nobody actually knows how to fix it, because it's like if you try to tweak this one part over here, there's a good chance that 10 other parts over there are going to, break entirely. So it is one of these things where it's like you could almost imagine it like and everybody's had this experience. You have like a bucket or like a container of all your wires, and then like somehow there's just this giant fucking ball of like what seems like a million wires, and it's like, oh God, how am I gonna untangle this? Oh, Rich, did you drop a direct dono? Why am I not hearing my direct donos? Rich says, who hates me? Who's talking smack? I will crush your face and your soul, make you my stepchild, and have your mother and grandma submit to me and call me daddy. What the fuck? Rich, you ready for this? Rich is about to have his mind blown. Rich is not ready. This is like a major plot twist. Rich, Sony hates you, man. I'm sorry you had to find out like this. He's just, it's like the end of the movie 7. What's in the box? It's Sony. Sony's in the box. He's like, I don't believe you. Rich is holding the gun up right now. He's like, I don't believe you. God, what a great movie. I'm sorry you had to find out like this, man. But yeah, we're getting real deep into the trenches here of, I know it's far removed from, just gaming talk, but it's just, I think it's why a lot of people do end up kind of feeling, frankly, if not depressed, maybe depressed is the wrong word. That sounds very strong, but like they just feel like, what's even the point in fighting, And we got Frank Cosmo. He comes in and he drops 10 member gifts on you guys out of nowhere.
Holy shit.
Frank, thank you so much for that. He says, let's kick it off. He wants a member train, boys.
All aboard!
I need more. It's not enough. It's never enough. I mean, God, the irony, right? But thank you so much for that, Frank. Yeah, so I do want to let you guys know, if you do receive a member gift, if you're lucky enough to receive a member gift, I did release my first ever gameplay commentary featuring Dark Souls, story time with Dark Souls. It's 30 minutes long. It's members only. I'm definitely looking for feedback. So please, if you do become a member, if you don't mind, when you get the chance, check it out. Let me know what you think, and we could keep doing more of that. And if you want to support what I do here, consider gifting memberships. Consider becoming a member. I'm going to add this to the goal. Super chats, direct donos, all that good stuff. It all helps tremendously and allows me to do what I do here. So thank you guys so much for that. Sorry to say, I know we sound so doom and gloom today, but it's just, I feel like we're just trying to acknowledge. And I think, it's important, not all the time, but sometimes. I did Nicodemus, and I got one thing. That was a good thing, though. I got to see if I can find a way to get it into better focus. But you see the plaque back there on top of my shelf? Whiskey Gaming. It's a custom plaque with the MBG logo on it. It's wood. It's very nice. I'm probably going to check the P.O. box again in the coming weeks. I don't know how much longer I have it for. I think I have it till the end of August. So I still got some time. If you guys want to send anything over, feel free to do so. But we're simply dealing with what is rather than what we wish was. Yeah. Why did I just find out you have a P.O. box? Yeah, I gotta. Hold on, what is my P.O. box address? I haven't typed it in a while. It is. Ray, you still got it, bro? I don't even know my own P.O. box, man. God damn. I'm not going to lie, I kind of forgot about it. Truthfully. Past couple weeks. I've been so caught up in shit, I totally forgot that I even had one. myself. I'm just learning about it now too. Ray's scrambling. He's like, I got it somewhere. Sorry to put you on the spot, Ray. If you don't have it, Ray, I'll find it. It's somewhere. You love these philosophical talks. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, I mean, there is some level of philosophy to it, you know? If only we could change things. Thank you. There we go. Ray's got it. So RU46N2 Ray in the chat, he just dropped the P.O. Box address. So if anybody is interested at all in sending anything over, feel free to do that. In the coming weeks, I'll go check. I'm gonna get nothing. That's okay. I don't expect anything. But I was a little bit surprised though. You see this is probably how Sony feels. We're like, y'all asked for SOCOM, y'all asked for Killzone. Where y'all at? Open a PO box, MBG with a PO box. It's just nothing. All right. We have Gordon, a member for 32 months. Thank you for that, Gordon. He says, MBG, I traveled to China for a few weeks for work, and your podcast helped me survive the 13-hour flight and the layovers. Keep it up. Glad you're healthier. Well, damn, I love to hear that, Gordon. I love hearing stuff like that. That genuinely makes me feel good about what I do here. I mean, I have a lot of reasons to feel good about what I do here, but I think that's one of my favorite things because I've been there, not necessarily flying to China, but we always had those times where you're looking for something meaty, a long podcast. You know, some would say you stream for too long, MBG, but I say no, I do it for Gordon. Okay, he needs me. They need me out here. I'm glad, man. I'm glad. I always appreciate the fact that there are people who listen to what I do here as just part of their daily routine or when they have stuff they're going through and it helps them out. Because you guys do that for me too. It's a good thing we got going here. I'm going to be flying to China soon. We're streaming from China. I'm kidding. I'm not going to China. Not going to China. Cheese with a 5-pound super chat says, you should watch Big Boss's new video, The Absolute Chaos of the Next GTA. Uh-oh. I don't know if I like the sound of that. Hold on, let me... Okay. I just got a crazy recommendation in my YouTube feed. The Absolute Chaos of GTA 6. Oh, wow. Almost 600K views. Who is this? I've never...
2025, and the AAA landscape is bleak.
All right. It's a long one. Maybe in a little bit I could check that out. It looks like an interesting video, though. I've never... This Big Boss YouTuber, he's got 876,000 subscribers. I've never come across them before. AAA landscape is bleak. It's about Mind's Eye. Don't worry. Oh, my God. Yeah, I was wondering why Mind's Eye was in the thumbnail. Hold on. Is the whole video about dude, what a weird game. Mind's Eye is a bizarre game. The top comment is, I forgot that game existed so hard that I thought this video was about an actual GTA 6 drama. Oh, man. This is going to be one of those streams where I have to retitle it, man. Because I'm just not... I'm not... I have to overhaul my damn stream titles. Okay, I can't keep doing this. I'm more angry than any of my viewers. I get viewers, they come in here like, I thought we were talking about Xbox and shit and KOTOR remake, and I'm like, I want to, but there's I end up going in a different direction. Pull yourself together. I'm going to have to rename my... I've always wanted to just make my streams titled like just MBG Live. That's what I want to do. But I'm afraid to do it. I don't want to do it at the same time because it's like it's bad for YouTube's algorithm. You know? Oh, you see you see Papa laying on the ground? Yeah, this big boy. MBG Talks Gaming. MBG. I'm just going to title all my streams Mental Breakdown Gamer Live. I've still been considering a possible rebrand, but I don't know. It's hard, man. Like I have ideas and shit, but I'm like I don't know that doing a rebrand in this exact moment is the best idea because I don't want to communicate the wrong message to people. I think if I did a rebrand of any kind right now, people will, and I might not at all, but people might take that as like, you know, oh, I guess you're done covering PlayStation. Like, no, I'm covering many different things gaming wise, and PlayStation is still, at least as of right now, it's still at the center of that. Nothing has replaced it per se. But it's like I put out a news video today, and I wanted to, I incorporated more stuff about Valve, more stuff about Xbox, not just PlayStation, little stuff like that. I don't know if it's working though. I don't know. His videos are good, real info cut with funny inserts and memes. He has a Concord one too, but Mind's Eye behind the scenes is crazy / funny. Yeah, maybe we'll watch. I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing because it's 36 minutes. I don't know how long we'll be streaming today, but I'll watch at least some of it. Who knows if I enjoyed it enough, maybe we'll watch the whole thing. I would wait a bit. You can still do it later, just see where the landscape goes and what you end up doing for yourself, if you ask me. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, the rebranding, it sounds more dramatic than it is, but it really is just like, I don't know. I'm just afraid that it's like, you know, I've spent the entirety of my time on YouTube known as MBG, you know, and I have like a channel name in mind that I think is great. In my opinion, I think it's great, and it uses my real name, but I have this funny profile picture. I don't know if people would find it funny though. I have like this profile picture I made where I look like a punished snake. And then, like, you know what kind of message am I really trying to send right now? I'm out. No, I'm not out, but mostly burnt out gamer. There you go. That would be fitting. I still think Mental Breakdown Gamer might be maybe I'll just change what MBG means. I am working out though. I'm trying. I'm serious. I'm trying to rehabilitate myself. Holy shit, guys. It's been so long since I lifted weights. Like, I feel like I'm starting from the beginning again. Like, I did such a basic workout yesterday with just 25-pound dumbbells. Although I have to use a 5-pound dumbbell for my tricep. That's where I'm at. That's how weak my tricep is. I'm rehabilitating my nerve. And, you know, I'm doing 20 reps with 5 pounds. I'm like, this is hard. Yeah, I'm trying to take it as easy as I can. It's just it's hard to get adjusted to. I'm shocked though. I'm so fucking sore. I'm like, my God, how out of shape did I become in just a couple months? Very out of shape. But I guess that's normal. John's Game Room. I want to tell you guys so bad what my name, what I'm going to make what I'm thinking about making my name. And I think some people are going to think it's stupid, but I like it. But now that I've teased you, you're going to be like, tell us right now. You know why I don't want to tell you though? Because I don't even know if it's taken or not. John's Game Room isn't bad. That is a pretty good one. That's fitting. I am in a game room. Tell us so we can vote. I was gonna rename my channel to John's Gay. John's Big Gay Rants. What do you think about that, huh? You like that? You like that? It's good, right? John's Big Gay Rants. People won't know what to think. They're going to think I'm gay, and they're going to expect a certain... They're going to have a certain expectation, and they're going to find out. My happy rants, guys. You see? You see? John's big happy rants. Guys, I'm 2 months into my channel rebrand, and I think there may be some confusion. I think I've garnered the wrong audience. How could this have happened? JBR, John's Game Room. Well, don't think about it too hard. I don't know. It's a really, really hard thing to do, because if I were to rebrand, I'm going to lose, at least temporarily, like my verification and all that shit. And I don't even know if the name that I wanted to use is taken or not. The name that I thought of, though, in all seriousness, I thought of this name because, well, you know, what spurred on the idea of me rebranding is, you know, kind of not walking away from PlayStation entirely, but just kind of decoupling myself from PlayStation, you know, where I've always considered, I mean, I have been a PlayStation-centered and centric YouTuber and content creator, and things just feel a little bit up in the air because, well, to be honest, I don't know, a lot of things feel a little bit up in the air with the games industry right now. And so I always thought, I guess I just figured, like, the name that I came up with, to me, sounds like a very fitting name, where it's like, this is the last stop. This is it. You know, like I don't know. We'll see. Nothing may come of it. You're getting an all-digital PS6. Stop the cap. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, the struggle I'm having right now, just to be transparent with you guys. Well, before I say that, I got a super chat from Josh Z. He says, MBG, I was thinking about how Shift Up ditched Sony. They're probably thinking, God, given everything that has... I think they're saying, thank God, given everything that has happened with Sony now. I mean, I think anybody who decided to not renew their partnership with Sony is probably thinking that right now, like, dodged a bullet on that one. Yo, it's John. And then, yeah, I think you're completely right, Josh. I think you're right. MBG, you got many content creators to help you on the issues of Sony removing physical media, and that can help you with switching to a different platform. Please continue to help everyone from Sony. I mean, yeah, here's the thing. Here's the hard part, okay? The hard part isn't necessarily, because I've been thinking about it very deeply, obviously. Like, this is very important to me. This is a very serious thing for me, you know, that this isn't just a side thing I do. This is the thing I do, and I care very deeply about it. And I don't want to mess anything up for myself. I don't want to ruin anything. I don't want to lose good people. I also don't want to destroy the prospect of future growth. So I'm just kind of in this position where I have to really take everything into consideration. And, you know, a lot of times when I get very, very emotional and angry, I'm only taking a few things into consideration. And I think people can understand that. You know, we've all had our moments. But the most difficult thing for me that I've realized is it's not just about PlayStation, man. It's about gaming as a whole, where it's like I have to basically decide. And this is an important thing for me, especially considering I stream daily and, you know, I do this constantly. What type of gaming YouTube channel do you want to have? Like, do you want to just constantly be ranting about things, always highlighting what's wrong and what's bad, or you like how picky and choosy are you going to be about? I want to cover this, but not that. I want to, avoid that. What about games? Like do I want to just be the way that I've been, which is a little bit more closed off? Or it's like it's not that I'm not open minded at all, but it's like I am kind of particular about what I like to play and what I choose to play. Or do I want to, do I want to take it a step further where, I know it sounds like a little bit forced, but it's like, no, it's in the name of, I want to expand my horizons in the name of trying to, generate more discussion, on my YouTube channel. I'm just in an awkward place with that where I can't really determine what exactly I want to do, because that's the thing. People will tell me, well, MBG, just do what you want to do. And it's like, it's awkward sometimes when you're in a place where you're like, I'm not entirely sure. Things are a bit hazy at the moment, And so that's why I'm just kind of playing it. I'm just taking it like a day at a time where it's like, let's just see what happens. Who knows? Maybe like, look, people are saying you're going to get a PS6 day one. You're going to play Wolverine. I don't know. People are saying, oh, you're going to switch to PC. You're going to make PC your main platform. I don't know. There's a kind of teetering happening right now. And it's not because I feel pressured, just to be clear. I don't necessarily feel pressured to do anything. I do feel confident that whatever I would choose to do, I would get support. Because I think, like I said, the vast majority of people that support me, they support me because, listen, if you've been hanging around here long enough, you already know, like, you're just getting me, like you're not getting bullshit. You're not getting fluff. I'm always trying to be a certain way in the sense of like, I want to be more professional. I want to have things more under control, or not control, but more organized. And it's like, good luck with that, bro. Like, it just never happens. So I don't know. It's interesting times. We'll see what the future brings. But I do appreciate all the support, guys, no matter where we end up. Kaz Jam, you're saying there's no reason to only game on PlayStation with all that's going on. Start buying a couple of games for PC here and there. Don't have to quit PlayStation cold turkey. Yeah, and I agree. And I've been thinking about that. I'm like, I know I went like crazy where it's like, I'm not fucking giving Sony a dime. Why would I say these things? I know why I said them. Because in the moment I mean it. It's like, fuck, this sucks. Like, I'm pissed. But it's like, I think if I'm going to cover... If I do make the decision that I want to kind of go beyond PlayStation, I don't want to, like, to me, it would feel a little bit like a fresh start, but like, I don't want to do it the way I did it with Xbox, because it created, not problems. I don't know if problems is the right word. It created a imbalance, is what I'll say. It created an imbalance that eventually was corrected, I believe. Where Microsoft changed over time, Xbox did things differently over time, and therefore my feelings on them changed over time. But I don't know, man. It's like, if I expand beyond PlayStation, I don't know that I want to make it like I'm forsaking Sony and I'm never playing them again. Because it's like, but you're going to... So, like, wait, are you just going to PC now? Now you're just a PC guy. Well, no. So you're going to play on Xbox? It's like, maybe? And you're going to play on Nintendo. So, like, Xbox and Nintendo are okay, but Sony's not. And you get what I'm saying? Where it's like, this is where I start to realize that this is the nature of where we are collectively, where it is like, you're either in or you're out, man. You can pick and choose, of course, but I mean, it's just got to, I don't know. It's got to happen naturally, I suppose. Kane Z7 with a super chat says, hi, MBG, sorry if you don't want to talk about it, but did you see the video X Vault did on you? I think you got some good points, but we are all humans. No, I did not. I did not see the video that X Vault did on. Did he do a dedicated video on me? I mean, I'll be honest with you, Kane. Like, I'm certain that over the last I mean, I don't know if this video you're talking about just came out, but I'm certain over the last 72 hours, people have been probably clowning me to oblivion. You know? If Twitter is anything to go by, Kane, if Twitter's anything to go by, I've been getting, like, annihilated. It is what it is. You know? It's like, newsflash, I've been getting annihilated the entire time I've been doing YouTube. Same shit, different day, man. You know, I think the problem that a lot of people have, and maybe it's not a problem. Maybe it's not my place to say if it's a problem, but it's a real thing that I've observed. You can either convince yourself that people watch you or support you or engage with you for one reason, and that one reason would be because of the singular thing you do and the singular thing you offer. And by that, I mean, there's kind of like an exchange. Let me word it differently. There are a lot of people that I think they don't have any confidence that the people who will watch them and support them are doing so for them. And to me, that's sad, because it's like, I mean, truthfully, if you're going to have any type of audience that has any loyalty, that's probably what it will be, you know, tethered to. Anybody can just jump from topic to topic. Anybody can just ride the trends. You know, anybody can just do whatever needs to be done to be relevant for the week or for the day or for the month. I'm not saying it's easy. I am just saying anybody can do it, though, if you're willing to stay on top of things that way, if that's how you want to do it. And plenty of people make it that way. But I think outside of that, the way a lot of people prefer to make it is you just want to be who you are. You want to be you, you know, and you want to just do things in a way that comes naturally to you and what makes sense to you. And the hope is that enough people see that and support that. And I think that's what I think of in all the years. Let's react to him reacting to you. Yeah, that's what I should. Yeah, there we go. That's gonna be a great. Oh, it came out today. Nice. Let me guess. Is the clip of me being like, I'm a grown ass man, I ain't giving Sony another dime. You know what the irony is, though? You know what the irony is like, there's been like this whole idea over the last 72 hours that like MBG folded, and I'm like, I don't know, man. My PS Plus is still canceled. I haven't spent any money. I got no games pre-ordered. Did I fold? And I get it. I was encountering some people on Twitter, and they're like, "Well, no, it's your tone shift, man." And you know what? This is why I'm over here and I'm being like, man, YouTube is a nasty game. Content creation is a nasty game. It's all just one big rat race, you know? And you got to always have a certain edge. You lose that edge, this is what happens. You can't be too human now. Cheese, sorry, I almost missed your super chat, man. You're saying I have 1,000 plus games on Steam, 100. Jesus, that's a lot on Steam. 146 on PlayStation, 60 something on Xbox, and about 40 on Switch 1 and 2. Gaming is just gaming for me, wherever, as long as I can play. Yeah, and I've never been opposed to that idea. I'm just overwhelmed at that. Like that's crazy. That, I mean, Jesus, cheese. That's 1,000 games on Steam, bro. That's impressive. That's impressive. I could see myself gaming like that, maybe. You know, just kind of opening every door, every window. Mobile gaming. I'm switching to mobile gaming, guys. I'm playing Disney Solitaire. Okay? I probably could make that work. Frank Cosmo with a milestone chat. Member for 8 months. He says, I feel the same. It's really tough because sunken cost fallacy. I have thousands, maybe tens, invested into my PlayStation library. Yeah, I was so frustrated to see the way people were being towards me. I mean, I understand it. Like, I understand it, but I was still frustrated because it's like I'm talking to my audience literally 2 weeks later in a random stream where I'm sitting just like this, you know, probably in pain, relaxed, you know, and I'm just explaining how, yeah, it's hard to like, dude, it's years of my life, you know, years of my life. And granted, I did it to myself. I admit that, where I'm like, you didn't have to go all in, man. And I didn't. But I guess, yeah, it's just when I sat back and thought about it, I'm like, fuck. But who knows? I mean, who knows? At the rate things are going, man, it is like there's not a whole lot to be really genuinely excited about with PlayStation and with a lot of gaming. Like, there are things games wise to be excited about, but everything else surrounding it, like I said, it's just like it's all I don't know. It's just getting a little bit you know. Yeah, that's what I get for putting myself at the forefront. You just got to not care about things you can't control. No, I agree. I mean, dude, keep in mind, like, for a lot of people, the only way I'm going to earn their quote unquote respect is by being a certain way. Like, people are like, "Oh, you have no backbone." I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, "Oh, well, because you said you're not going to give Sony a dime." Okay, I haven't. Well, you said you're not going to buy the PS6. Yeah, is the PS6 here? Did I buy it? Like, well, you weren't you made it seem like you might go back, and I'm like, I still have a fucking PS5 Pro and an account with 60 plus platinums on it and thousands of hours and dollars dumped into it. Am I supposed to literally, like, I guess I'm just saying, like, I guess I came out with the energy. Like, I'm going to smash my PlayStation. And then people were like, yeah, but that's the energy you brought, so smash it. And I'm like, oh, well, all right, well, I don't really want to smash my PlayStation. Like, I'd rather, I mean, if I'm going to get rid of my PlayStation, I'm going to sell it. No, I get it. I understand. I'm not going to sit here in front and pretend that I didn't come out being a belligerent animal. Y'all better hope I don't come back out like that again, though. People are going to find. It's just, can I make, like, I'm just, it's funny because the thing that I kind of realized is, like, I can't feel this way all the time. I can't be angry about everything. And so it becomes a thought of, like, well, what can I gravitate towards that doesn't make me feel angry anymore? Glassdoor Gamer with a $5 chat says, Valve introduced refunds after lawsuits over PC compatibility. PC gamers will never tell you this. It's now also battling price-fixing allegations. Damn. I didn't know that. You know what, though? It proves the lawsuits can work. That's great. That's great. I did not know that. Is that true? Wait, is that true? I mean, it's still good that it happened, but, like, that's crazy. Yo, this is why we got to sue the shit out of Sony, too. This is the only way we're going to get through to any of them. Okay, MBG, here's the thing. Last stream, you literally said you couldn't bring yourself to try PC and that you couldn't ever stop playing new games. How else would people interpret that? Well, yeah, I mean, well, that's what I get for being too open and honest, where it's like, I would hope to, I would like to think, and I would like to have some hope that, and I guess I'm giving, not you guys here, but I'm giving too many people too much credit where it's like, guys, like, I'm just explaining, like, there's a great hesitance in me to do something dramatically different, to just dive into the deep end of things after not being anywhere near that specific pool. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I guess it's fine, man. The only thing that does slightly bother me, but it really doesn't bother me that much, because I encourage people, find out for yourself. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. If people, it's always been this way, dude. It's like, if you don't trust me, if you think I'm a fraud, if you think I'm a liar, if you think I'm okay, like I'm just gonna be this person that you see in front of you, and if that's something that you don't take to very well, and it's not, it's not working for you, that's cool. Like there's plenty of other content creators and streamers, and I think everybody's just got to go towards what they feel best with. And I'm not, I'm just saying, I'm not necessarily trying to prove anything to anybody. Truthfully, you know what I'm really trying to do these days more than anything, and I would like to think that some people could relate to this, if not relate to it, at least understand it. The thing I'm trying to do these days is I'm trying to like reignite my passion for gaming, because everything that's been going on, I feel like it really has, like, I love games. I've always loved video games, but it's like I can just tell that, especially after the last 12 months, it's like I've tethered so much of that to PlayStation, and at the rate things are going, it's like it just doesn't feel nearly as exciting anymore. And that, like, to me, that's just it's why, like, I reference the fact that when we look at going from the PS4 to the PS5, people were excited, and I was excited, but it was genuine. Like, none of it was forced. It was like there was genuine excitement. I would have never expected that where we are now, it's like, well, there's like no excitement. There's like animosity. Like, geez, man. That's like, it sucks. It sucks. And it's not just like, I mean, I'm sure it sucks for anybody who thought that going into the next generation would be exciting. It's not just for me, Cheese and Chainsaws, you're saying governments are trying to control Steam and Valve. They're being sued for anything. Told you before, they want user info, and Valve said no every time. Microsoft and Sony freely give info to the governments. Yeah, I mean, I did find it interesting. It is interesting that a lawsuit can convince a company to implement such a consumer-friendly and consumer-forward-facing refund policy. It does make me wonder if things like that could, happen down the line with PlayStation. Valve, like, it's like I always said, I don't think you need to be a PC elitist or like a Valve fanboy to acknowledge that one of the things that does make Valve special and unique in the entirety of the games industry is the level of success they have in terms of users and just sheer volume, while being a privately owned company and a privately owned platform. Like, there's just no denying, in my opinion. I say this as somebody who literally doesn't play on Steam, that, like, that gives them a certain, what's the term I should use here? A certain level of maneuverability and flexibility that, these other companies, they just can't do it, and if, like, they can try, which would be great, but they're seemingly not. And this is why, to me, the conversation around a digital only PlayStation 6 becomes interesting. It becomes interesting because it's like people who, and I asked this question myself, if we are going into a digital only future, right? What is Sony's strength there? You know what I mean? Like, what makes where is the good in that? This is why I've maintained my arguments. Like, no matter what people want to say, I've maintained my argument that, like, Sony making the announcement that they're going all digital in the next year and a half, going into next gen, while simultaneously not promising anything. They didn't promise better security. They didn't promise better infrastructure. They didn't promise, benefits for you. They didn't promise changes in their EULA, better consumer rights. They didn't promise any of that. They just said, we're doing this, and that's what you guys want, right? And that's where I'm like, you guys are making it, you guys are just making Steam look a lot better. Like, people already love Steam. People already view Steam as, like, the de facto digital storefront, or GOG. I don't think GOG is nearly as popular, and it's because they don't get as many games. But, like, the fact that both exist on the same platform, which is PC, it's like, I don't know, Sony and Microsoft, and maybe eventually Nintendo, but mainly Sony and Microsoft, especially Sony right now. I don't know how you're planning on competing with this. And I think it's more like we're not planning on competing with it. We're just banking on people not leaving to go to PC, And it's like, well, maybe they're right. Maybe people won't go to PC. I don't know. Glassdoor Gamer, you're saying 100% it's true. I have seen ups and downs of Steam since they were just an update tool. PC gamers exaggerate how pro-consumer Valve is. Do they? I mean, it's hard for me to determine because I don't have much firsthand experience with Steam. Saying Sony's strength, optimized games, AAA exclusives, better value for hardware, zero tinkering. Valve doesn't have different consumer rights. GOG is 2%. I mean, yeah, I don't want to discount the things you're listing, because you're right. Like, Sony does offer, they do have strengths. If they didn't, I wouldn't be here. It's not that they don't have any strengths. I guess I don't know. I feel like Sony's at a point where they're kind of exploiting those strengths, and they're really kind of like, I just don't trust Sony at this point, to be honest. Like, I think that's all it boils down to. The thing that won me over to PlayStation was I genuinely trusted that, okay, you guys are making a great console, as you did with the PS4 and the PS4 Pro, and you are very serious about these AAA single-player games and being for the player and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm fucking done with Xbox. I don't know what the fuck Xbox is doing anymore. And I really believed it, man. And to be fair, it was true. Like, it was true for a while. It's not like it wasn't true. It's just, I feel like I don't trust the new leadership at Sony, man. Like, I feel like I look at this new leadership and I'm like, they're going to just fuck us all over. Because that's what they're kind of saying. I'm like, dude, we still got the fucking guy who greenlit Concord and thought Concord was going to be the new Star Wars. We still got that guy in charge. It's shit like that where I'm like, how is one supposed to be excited about this? I don't know, man. Like, I just don't know why it's got to be so. I don't know why why there's got to be so much friction with it, Because you're right. Like, Sony does have strengths, and it's like, rather than playing into those strengths, this is like the whole argument with Wolverine. It's like, dude, I was saying this yesterday. That fucking Wolverine trailer is amazing. It's so hype, dude. And it's like, it's just overshadowed by, sorry, like, people are just going to be upset because we made a decision and we're not reversing it. We're not acknowledging it. We're just going through with it. So either buy Wolverine or don't. We're going to count our money either way. And I hate that, man. I don't know. Caught in the middle here. But, people were mad at me either way, by the way. Like, people were mad at me people get mad at me when I lose my shit on Sony. People get mad at me when I'm weighing things out. And I get it. Like, people hate that. The more, listen, this, if anything, this should just be fucking irrefutable proof that, like, I don't just do, if it could happen. I'm not saying it couldn't. If one day I just decide I'm just going to do what I need to do on my channel to make it as lucrative as possible, to facilitate growth, to play the algorithm, not play the algorithm, but to play into the algorithm. If I ever do that, you know, you'll know. People thought I was doing that this past couple weeks. It's like, no. I had like 3 videos that did better than usual. Everything you got from me is real. Like, including the come down and, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, when the anger subsides, when the inflammation dies down, and it's a matter of like, okay, well, you have your money that you're going to spend on gaming. Where do you want it to go? This is why I try to tell people, like, people can clown on me all they want. It's like, nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. I mean, quite literally, nothing has happened. Cardinal Music, you're saying if the PS6 is going to cost $1K plus an exclusive stay cross-gen, then there's no point in the PS6 with Sony's recent behavior. I've canceled my Plus, and I'll move to PC and play PS6 games on my PS5 Pro. I was mentioning that earlier, Cardinal. I was mentioning the idea of, like, if Sony handles cross-gen the same way they handled it with the PS4 and PS5, then yeah. Well, hey, Gaming Survivor, you gotta take care of what you gotta take care of, you know? It's all relative. I mean, that's true. I mean, it just I get it too. I get that feeling too. Like, it's I'm going through the stages of grief. Give me a break. Oh man, everybody's just got this attitude like, you gotta, like, you have to stand on your business. And I'm like, well, yeah, I get that. I do. But we're talking about video games, you know? And putting my own emotional reactions aside, there's just always been a simple truth. Oh, you're leaving on good terms with everyone, not fighting any battles today. Well, Gaming Survivor, you let me know if you want to keep your mod ship or not, all right? Titus would like to take the mantle. We'll see. I got too many mods. I still got too many mods, man. No, I hear you, bro. I hear you, Gaming Survivor. I know how it is. Oh, he says, happy for you to move the mod ship to Titus. All right, well, hey, Titus, are you sure? Are you sure, Titus? Comes a lot of responsibility. Responsibility. We want me to remove Rich Rod's mod ship. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Rich is gonna have a fucking meltdown. Well, I mean, if Gaming Survivor ever wants to come back, I can mod him again, you know? He's been doing a good job. No, he's just saying he's looking to take a break. I get it. Dude, I mean, so, like, sometimes you just got to disconnect. He's just like, stop being bipolar. I don't take it that way. Bro's just like, I'm just trying to live my life. Dude, we're gonna see somebody in here next week with the name Survived Gaming. Be like, Gaming Survivor that you was like, no. No. Gaming Survivor can have it when he comes back. And he will come back. Something's going to pull Gaming Survivor back in. He's like, just when I thought I was out. You know something crazy. You know what this means? Something crazy is happening next week. something cataclysmic. I bet you this is what happened before. Gaming Survivor came in at the end of June, and he's like, I think I'm just going to take a break from everything. And then, there it is. July 1st rolls around. You thought. No, it's all good, man. I appreciate you letting me know, though, because I think, he could have just dipped out, and I would have never even noticed, like, in terms of the mod ship and whatever. Well, he's got to uphold the law. He is the law, after all. All right. Where was I here, though? I've totally lost track. He's like, you're not lying, bro. There's always a crisis just as I'm about to leave. We'll see. This will be the true test. All right, let me see here. Yeah, I don't know. The shit's just getting weird and crazy out here. I'm getting it from all angles. I got PlayStation fans angry with me. I got PC guys angry with me. I got Xbox players probably still angry with me. We still got 2 topics left. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm telling you, I think for the sake, I've been saying this for a long time, and I still just haven't done it, but I really think the time has come. I have to do it. I'm going to have to just create a singular title for my, I think I'm going to have to wait to title my live streams until after we're done streaming. And going into the live stream, I'm just going to have to make it like MBG Live. Unless there's like, for sure, unless there's like absolutely at least one singular topic. Like, for example, if tomorrow GTA 6 gameplay drops, it's like, okay, the title is GTA 6 gameplay. If tomorrow, and obviously this is going to happen tomorrow because that won't bring people. I mean, I'll test it out. Clickbait. Talk about games. Yeah, well, I mean, we have a lot of games coming in the coming weeks and months. Let me go read some of the comments that people are saying about me, though. Let's see. Somebody says stopped following MBG ages ago. He went off a cliff. Why? How did I go off a cliff? When? Explain yourself. Oh, this person says, I never understood him at all. I remember watching a stream about some PlayStation news in 2021 after he spent 20 minutes when I joined the stream thanking people for memberships. I still don't know what that means on YouTube to this day. Oh, I mean, okay, that's actually fair. That wasn't even agreed. That wasn't even mean. Bro didn't know what I was doing. He's like, why is this guy thanking people for memberships? What the fuck is he talking about? All right, I mean, somebody says the only time I agreed with Xbots is when they said MBG stands for most boring gamer. Okay. He is not a PlayStation gamer. He is Xbox. Jumped ship to Sony as Xbox was crashing. Dude, that's crazy to me. Like, the people who think that I'm like a closeted Xbox fan still, that's crazy. I mean, I can understand that because it is true. I moved from Xbox to PlayStation, so I understand that, like how people could think that way. But it's like, no, dude, no. Xbox is not in a state that I feel. I wish. I'll put it to you that way. I wish. Oh, I was thanking people by playing the Arnold soundbite. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on right now, man. I need to get the hell out of here. I could understand. But I wish Xbox was winning me over right now. That would be great. But they're not. They're still kind of just doing what they do. You know, they're doing what they've been doing for a long time. If there is going to be some kind of Xbox moment where they win me over, it's going to have to be something they do like it's going to be really big. I haven't played Xbox in a long time, bro. I still don't have a Series X or a Series S. Let me see. The biggest fake outrage event in gaming history, the PlayStation influencers got a hard reality check. They have no influence. I don't like that comment because there's having real outrage that doesn't result in anything doesn't mean it's fake outrage. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, us not getting it the way we want it doesn't equal fake outrage. Somebody says here, MBG is milking this like a dairy cow. All right. Okay. I stopped watching him after the Ghost of Yotei situation. He has no real thought of his own. He rides the tides of the internet outrage. I can't believe people think that about me. Like, don't people realize that it's the dichotomy that they've created for me is like, which is it? I'm either the most boring gamer, or I just constantly am outraged over every trending topic that's worth being angry over. They both cancel each other out. Which is it? You know what I think? I think someday, I think what I'm beginning to realize is there's just people. One of the most difficult things about doing this, now I don't know if difficult is the word to use, but it's like, yeah, people kind of just expect you to be a certain way. And if you show any change in that, they kind of, you know. The first thing people do when they get the latest console, talk about the next one. Let's see what else we got here. Also, the Ghost of Yotei situation, I've talked about that. Like, it's crazy to me people use that against me when it's like, this is where it's one of those situations where people just hear what they want to hear or they believe what they want to believe, where it's like, I said if Sucker Punch said something or did something, I'd be on board. And they did. I made a request. Like, I made it as clear as I could, just like right now, where it's like, Sony, tell me there's going to be discs for the PS6. I'll be a day one buyer. You know, till then, I'm probably out. I'm out. You know, it's like, how are you going to win me over for the PS6? Like, I'm serious. I don't know. Let's see. I like MBG, but ironically, he's starting to show signs of what Alex was talking about him. This is what fanboyism gets you. What did Alex say about me? I'm showing signs? Whoa. What are signs? What signs are we talking about here, boys? Jesus, they're making this sound like I'm fucking turning into like a goddamn infected. He's showing signs. I gave up on MBG years ago when he constantly whined about wokeness. All right. That's crazy. Dude, that's crazy. Remember when he had a dishwasher donation goal? Bro, that was a joke. Although, we did get support, which I then was able to use to buy a new dishwasher because mine was broken. Sometimes I think people are just jealous. I'm going to be honest. Like, I understand how privileged I am, and I don't take advantage of that. I don't look at that as something that's just expected. The tweaking? Wait, what do you mean the tweaking? What do you mean the tweaking? Are you talking about me like tweaking during like crashing out and shit? Is that what they're saying? I'm showing signs? I don't understand. I'm gonna have to look deeper into this. I gotta know. What signs am I showing? This person says, what I don't get and makes MBG so disingenuous is that the best compromise was suggested, simply charge $10 or $20 more physical and limit the print. And he says he doesn't care anymore, which is bullshit. I'll keep saying, I imagine this is due to our fuel crisis and tariffs. Well, I mean, to be fair, yeah, like when I'm at my angriest, it's like, yeah, I don't want to hear nothing. Fuck you, Sony. I get it. I understand that can come off completely unreasonable. But I did say, I did acknowledge that, okay, well, if that's the only compromise we could get, it would be better than nothing. It would be better than nothing, But that's my big problem is we're getting nothing. Most content creators will just adopt whatever opinion social media algorithms tell them to have. They don't think about being driven by engagement farming and bad faith actor astroturfing. Plus, they know the most emotionally activated audiences will be most likely to look at them as an avatar for their own opinion, get entrenched in a parasocial relationship. See, what this person is describing is the opposite of what I do, which is why so many people are mad at me. Like, the irony of so many people being mad at me is that they don't like that I'm not following one set way. People end up feeling like I'm misleading them. It's like I never told anybody what to think or feel. I never asked them to support me either because of what I think and feel. I have always asked people to support me because if you enjoy watching what I do and partaking in my channel, and it's part of what your routine, consider supporting it. I've never once asked people to support me because of my stance. Like, hey, I like PlayStation, so you should give me money. Yeah, I pay, like my guy in the chat, some dude says MBG pisses me off all the time. Yeah, I imagine I do. I'm well aware. Like, I have a very abrasive personality at times that's not agreeable. I've never, like, my whole thing is I've never looked for people to just agree with me. Do you guys, I mean, dude, I've had people who would come in and they would drop so much money on my channel. And I would see things, that that they would say that I'm in complete disagreement to a point where it's like, no. Have I lost financial support because of that? Yeah. Have I lost a lot of financial support because of that? But it's like, I'm not going to appease anybody because, oh, well, you give me money, so that's okay. Again, all of this is done in the hope that people realize that I'm not doing that shit and I'm never going to do that shit. I don't think people quite realize in this instance that, like, they're upset that I changed my tone. They see it as, oh, you grifted for 2 weeks. No, I spent 2 weeks being fucking furious and realized I just can't stay this angry the entire time. I have to think about other aspects of the entire situation and my entire channel going forward. And it's fine. Again, that's why I'm saying, if somebody looks at me and says, MBG, you're an idiot for just saying these, like, 5 things matter-of-factly without thinking them through. Correct. Correct. I am a human being. I do that sometimes. And yeah, I do look like an idiot. But I'm okay with that. I'd rather people just look at me and be like, what an idiot, than people look at me and be like, what a fucking lying fraud. Like, what fraud? Like, guys, if I was that good, I'd be out there conning people, not doing this. I'd be involved in politics. I'd be covering politics. Come on, man. MBG, when they hate you, or when you have, hold on, wait. What you have, they hate. You don't have, they hate. You make money, they hate. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Don't have money, they hate. Doesn't change, but you can. That is all. Exactly. I get what it's just the epitome of you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Cheese and Chainsaw says, like me. Exactly. I mean, look, man, one of the more disturbing things that I've come across the past couple weeks is I haven't encountered this a lot, but a few people have tried to make it sound like you don't even care about physical games. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. Like, what, like that just hurts. Like, I grew up with physical games. Yeah, I'm not sitting here saying I have the biggest collection, and it's not about that. It's about, like, the role physical games have played in my life and still play in my life now. They've mattered. And then, you encounter the other side of that. It's like, get the fuck over it, you fucking crybaby. Like, okay, I'm over it. I don't know, man. It's all... I think everybody's aware of what being audience captured is. And people have accused me of being audience captured before. And it's like, trust me, if I was audience captured, being audience captured means you can only think one way. Because that's what your audience expects from you. If you're not thinking one way, then you can only behave one way. So you can think differently, but you have to, the energy that you're exuding has to maintain the exact same cadence. Anyway, I'll read like one or two more here. I think all the YouTubers talking about Sony and stopping the discs are all for views. MBG hasn't stopped crying. He's getting on my nerves, but I'll be unsubbing from his channel if he doesn't shut up. Then unsub. Bye. Like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, I appreciate the time you've spent viewing my channel, but it's like, if that's your response to me in what I've had to say, it's like, okay, see ya. Like, I'm telling you, man, being a content creator is weird sometimes. It is. Like, you just encounter people and they have like this I guess it's understandable to an extent, but they have like this kind of entitlement, like, you better knock it off. Like, you can go. You know what I mean? Like, the last thing I ever want to do is be rude to anybody who's spending any time hanging out with me, watching my content. But it's like, I just think it's kind of rude on their part to think that, no, this is how you should be doing it. It's like, you can make a channel. You can do YouTube. You could do it. What you're telling me I should do, you could go do that thing. I don't know, man. It's a bizarre thing to witness, but it comes with the territory. He's always been a fraud and has never posted gameplay of him playing Saros. Past the level intro. Dude, that's that J-Tech guy saying that. Okay. Yeah. Meanwhile, anybody who's been watching my content for the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they were here watching me fucking play Elden Ring, playing Astrobot, playing Metal Gear Solid. I fucking still have full game playthroughs of The Order 1886 and fucking Shadow of the Colossus, but okay. See, here's why I think these guys are funny, because it's like, you didn't actually play Soros. You didn't do it. Oh, I got the platinum. Well, prove it. Fuck you. I could, and I could make you look like a fucking idiot. But no, thank you. I don't need your approval. I don't need your respect. Like, I'm not looking for that. Good day to you, sir. Wait until I whip out my fucking Concord Platinum on these fuckers. Then they're gonna know. See, he's a fraud. He hated Concord, but he platinumed it. That guy's fucking deranged. All right. I went totally off the rails. The fact that there's this many people still hanging out with me watching it, thank you. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. I got totally derailed. All right, hold on. Wait, hold on. I got one more here. Somebody says, didn't MBG only become a PlayStation fan in 2019? Not saying he can't be a fan or anything, but he's acting like he's been there from the beginning, like a lot of us PlayStation fans have. He can have his opinions, like we're all entitled to. I knew he was an Xbox guy, but most of the grifters are fickle. If PlayStation goes all digital, then it looks like I'm going all digital. These are just video games. They're a want and not a need. So I will say this. I will say I did grow up with PlayStation. A lot of first, I mean, I guess I understand why a lot of people don't know it because I don't talk about it that often. But I started with the N64, but went to the PS1, from the PS1 to the PS2. PS2 is where I spent the vast majority of my time, and then I went to the 360. Xbox won me over with the 360, and that's where I spent that gen. I did play PS3, but it came later. But the 360 was my place. Refresh the comments. Oh, brother. Here we go. Let me see. MBG is my daddy. Stop it. Ain't no way, Cheese. I'm going to like that one. You better heart that one next. That's funny. Thank you. Thank you, Cheese. I've liked MBG less and less as the years have gone by because he's such a crybaby for absolutely anything. He sounds like a 10-year-old, and all he does is complain with no real reason. Why do I get the feeling that person probably agreed with everything I cried about regarding Xbox? I don't know. I just have a feeling. MBG is my daddy. Stop it. God damn. Jeez. You're a real one, bro. You're a real one. Alrighty. Let me see here. All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to retitle this. I don't know that I really have much of a choice at this point. You know what I mean? All right, let me come back to the chat. Sorry, I'm just getting very, very, very distracted. My attention span is in the garbage right now. I apologize. Appreciate you guys sticking with me here. Don't let Mrs. MBG see that comment. MBG, read my chat. Be careful. Oh, yeah. No, I was just reading the comments on that video. Shadowlink says, MBG, to be honest with you, there were a few times I had to tune out from the live streams. I stayed through the outrage of Sony doing digital. It's frustrating, LOL, but I support. Still glad it's over. Well, I appreciate that, Shadowlink. And, you know, that's, I don't know. If there's one thing I can understand, and this is like the singular point where anybody who has this feeling towards my channel, I'm not going to say me, because I don't think it's personal. Like the people who feel this way, I don't believe it's personal. And that's why I think a lot of people, if they're not feeling it, they'll just, I'm just going to maybe not watch this, or I'm going to tune out for a little bit. And I totally get, and I appreciate that, because that's the most respectful thing to do. You know, I just can't stand when I encounter people where they're like, what the fuck, OBG? Fuck you, man. Like, leave me alone, bro. You know? But the thing that I can understand, and I do think about this quite a bit. I do. X-Vault hearted already. Shout out. That's some funny shit, dude. I hate all of you. No, I'm just kidding. I love all of you. The thing I really do think about, though, and I mean this is like on a level where I've been thinking about this for years on my channel, and I really struggle with it. As you know, I've maybe I've gotten worse with it over the years. Maybe my brain is just rotting, you know. I'm sorry. I would like to be, I don't know if mature is the right word. I don't know that that's the right word to use, because I think I'm mature a lot of times. I wish I could be less reactionary. You know, that's like a genuine thing that it is just part of who I am. It's why things were a little bit different when I didn't stream, or when I only streamed once a week, versus when I'm streaming daily. A lot of time it's like, yes, I mean, you sometimes just see the, like, this is it. This is my in the moment, as if I'm like sitting in a room with a friend and they just told me the news. This is what you're getting. It's not that I regret my reaction. No. I don't know how to word it. It's, you know how the saying goes, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. That's the epitome of what I'm trying to communicate. Like, I wish I could be better at coming off as more, I don't know, perceivable, or I could be more receptive in that sense, or people could be more receptive to me because of that, is what I'm trying to say. I just say this because it does seem like when hold on. I guess what I'm just trying to say here is, like, I've had this vision in my mind, and I don't know if it'll ever happen. I don't know, because I am who I am. You know, it does kind of become a little bit more personal, and I guess a little bit philosophical as well, depending on how you look at it. But there's always that line between, like, how much do you accept yourself for who you are versus how much do you look to improve yourself and be better. And that's, you know, at this point in my life, I'm kind of in that weird, I'm in like an awkward place where I don't know sometimes which one is better, you know, because sometimes it does feel like, nah, man, like, this is just be who you are. But then you question, like, but could I be better? You know, isn't there room, like, and I guess it's like, well, there's always room for improvement, but what does that look like? And I guess in my case, for me, the improvement looks something like just being more, I don't know, calm. I think that's what I'm looking for here. Because that's what I want to be. Truthfully, like what I want to be is calm. I want to be a calm and reasonable person. It's just that, yeah, there are times, man, where I just react in a way where it's like, it's not a lie. It's like, it's the craziest thing is when people call it performative. I'm almost like a little bit flattered that people say it, where I'm like, oh, you think I'm that good of an actor, huh? It's not. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on who you ask, it's real. Like when you remember when we were live and I found out in the middle of the stream that Blue Point closed down and I fucking lost it. Like that wasn't performative. That was real. Cause I was genuinely like fucking flabbergasted. I'm over there thinking, I can't wait to see Blue Point's new remake announced for the PS6. Maybe it'll be Bloodborne. And it's like, no, we're shutting them down. I mean, and that's why I'm saying, like, and this announcement from Sony with the discs, none of it was fake or performative. Everything I said was true because it's real. It's like when I get angry and I tell people, guys, just understand that, like, once this goes through, there is no going back. And that does frustrate me. Because it's the thought that, like, what if we could do something to change that outcome? And this is the moment to do that. But the only way you're going to change the outcome is you got to get loud. You got to get Sony's attention. And you got to fight for it, you know? And I'm like, okay, it's not often I get this intense about it, but it's like, maybe this is that moment. And yeah, I'm a little bit let down that, like, Jesus, Sony really isn't saying nothing, you know? But I guess that's what leads. I mean, would I be feeling differently if 2 weeks after going berserk, if Sony came out and they're like, yeah, we're changing it, we hear you guys, I'd feel different. I'd be like, damn, all right, my fucking reaction was totally justified because it worked. And I guess just it feels not like a lesson learned, but more like just a more thorough understanding of sometimes that type of reaction is warranted and leads to a better outcome. Most times, it's not needed to get to the better outcome. And in this case, I don't know. It's why I don't know that I'm going to be able to scream and yell going forward as much, because it's like, it's more about the subtlety and the kind of, we will talk about it as we move forward and we'll say what needs to be said and the outcome will be what it will be. And we'll just take it from there. You know? Would it have been more beneficial to me if I could just have that understanding in the moment, right as it's happening? Like, say my piece, keep the foot on the gas for as long as I need to, but let it be what it's going to be. Yeah. I'm trying to be more zen. Practice it and it comes to you. Anyone who was ever good at anything had to start out bad at it, but got better through challenging themselves to be better. I'm trying to be like, yeah, new Kratos, you know? It's going to take time. I'm out here acting like Sony's knocking on my door. Glassdoor Gamer is saying, breaking, according to Circana, just 2 PlayStation games sold more than 10,000 physical units during the week ending July 11, 2026. Only 7K sold. 100K. This is actually alcohol. This is actually whiskey, man, or vodka. I wish I could just control my emotions better. Oh, man. I wish that was actually a bottle, not literally vodka in it, but like a bottle of vodka with water in it. Be like, after reading that super chat, here's what I got to say about that. Let me see. Thank you, Erfan, for giving me that link. I want to check this out. 100 subs daily idea. On 100 subs, you do the rest of the stream hatless. Set that as a goal each stream. Maybe hate watchers would even contribute. I mean, there's many different ideas, you know, that I guess I could go with. I'll take my hat off. No, you know what a crazy goal would be? And people are sick. People are sick and they like to watch you suffer. But I think people would pay for it. Not having a really long stretch goal that lasts for like months. You know? Well, I don't know if it could last. The idea is like I grow my hair out and then take my hat off. Holy shit, that would be bad. I would never do that. I mean, I don't know. I'll never say never. Maybe one day I'll get desperate enough. But you know, I don't really. I'm not. I don't know. I've just gotten comfortable wearing the hat. I have streams of me with my hat off. There's not many of them, but they're there. You know, I've embraced my baldness. And I shave my head. But what I would feel uncomfortable about is if I had to grow my hair out. Oh, boy. Shave my eyebrows for a huge goal? That's just fucked up. That's pretty bad. Don't eyebrows take like a year to grow back? Northern Lion is popular and bald. I don't know who that is. How do you like know every streamer and every content creator? Jeez. MBG, I assume you're not playing your PS5 right now. If that's the case, what harm would it do to play a game or two on Steam and give it a shot? There's plenty of free games also worth a shot. Well, that's why I was telling people, like, I'm in a holding pattern right now. You know, I'm not gaming really at the moment. You know, I did boot my PlayStation 5 up because my son wanted to play Plants vs. Zombies on it. Or not my PS5, but the one upstairs. And I'm kind of just mentally I'm mentally preparing for the next war. Now, I'm thinking about what I want to do going forward because here's the thing. Like, there are basically three options. Okay? Well, hold on. Matt Piscatella, 2 PlayStation video games sold more than 10,000 physical units in the U.S. during the week ending July 11th. 7 more sold 100K physical units year to date. I mean, fuck. Like, what the fuck, man? Yep. Matt Piscatella says commenting is cool. Use your voice and all that, but commenting is cheap. I mean, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Fuck, man. I don't know. I'm telling you though. We're gonna find out. We're going, like, I want to see the physical to digital split on Wolverine. Like 2 months after it comes out. A month. 2 weeks. The people have spoken, but maybe the people will change their minds. Maybe. I'm not saying they will, but it's like, this will be the truest demonstration. Well, yeah, GTA split's going to be 100% digital. I don't know, man. Internet outrage is nothing because it don't affect the real world gamers. I know, man. I mean, listen, you guys have been watching me for a while. Those of you who've been watching me for a while, you know, like, I don't really get like that anymore. I don't get like that angry. Oh no, Glassdoor Gamer. No. Did that happen? Okay, guys, it might be over actually. Oh no. Oh no. Fucking A. Okay. You guys just like pummeled me. The Matt Piscatella post and now this Glassdoor Gamer, you guys just pummeled me. They beat me in the submission. Not forced, like with just real things that are happening. Sorry, man. Sorry. But this is how it is. Erfan, yeah, thank you. I'll when we're gonna roll out, remind me. I mean, I have three options. Well, four. Well, let's go over my options. Option number one, just keep things as they are. I take a colossal sized L and I firmly grasp it. And I say, you know what? I'm gonna just be a digital gamer with PlayStation going forward. I accept it. I'm gonna buy the PlayStation 6 day one, and I'm just gonna keep only playing on PlayStation. That's option number one. Option number two, I could firmly grasp a medium-sized L. Okay? And that medium-sized L is me saying, okay, I'm going to buy all these games coming out for PlayStation. I'm going to continue to play on PS5 Pro. That's the only place I'm going to play. But I'm not moving to the PlayStation 6 unless Sony makes a big change, whether that be with their digital storefront or going back to physical games. So it's like a medium-size L. I could hold a small L, maybe a micro L. I just love the way I word these things. And what that looks like, I suppose, is I'm going to keep playing on PlayStation, and PlayStation's going to be part of my regular gaming rotation, but I'm now going to play other things too. You know, it's like what Nicodemus was saying, like I'm going to go play on Steam a little bit, go play on Nintendo a little bit, maybe a little bit of Xbox here and there. And then outside of that, there are two other alternatives. So there's large L, medium L, small L. Possible W for some people, depending on who you ask. But an alternative option is I'm done with PlayStation. I'm done with Xbox. I'm not interested in Nintendo. I'm a PC gamer now. That's right. I only game on PC now, guys. That's an option. Well, I'm only saying, yeah, I mean, the small L with like a small W, maybe. You know, the small L, because it's like, well, you're still giving Sony your money, MBG, but you are giving everybody else your money too and playing on all these things. Sure. And then the final option, probably the biggest win of all. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I don't think it's a win. In my opinion, this is not a win. I still see this as an L, but the win comes in the form of your dignity. You know, the having the most pride you can. Just quitting. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I'm not supporting any of this anymore. But to me that's not an option. You know, unless I had some kind of alternative plan where it's like I'm going to find a new hobby that is going to be as meaningful to me as playing games. That's not an option. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, it would be easy for me to just say, well, I'm already getting clowned on anyway. You know? So quitting. We're quitting gaming. MBG quits gaming. I don't know. I mean, if I'm being just completely honest, I have been thinking about the idea of just continuing it. Like, I have this feeling right now, and I understand that people are going to continue to call me a fraud or whatever, or call me spineless, and that's fine. I'm not really too worried about that. I'm just genuinely more concerned about what's going to make me happy with this shit. Because I'm not rich. I'm not excited at the idea of paying more for less. That doesn't get me excited. It genuinely doesn't. Like it makes me worried that like I'm already spending so much money on gaming now. It's like on PlayStation. And it's like I don't mind doing that if it feels worth it. John touches grass. That'll be the name of the channel if I quit gaming. But I'm considering taking this option of, and I haven't decided yet, but I'm just saying it's something I've been thinking about. I'm considering just continuing on this road that I've been on, where it's like, okay, I've been on PlayStation 5 since it came out, and just taking it to the end. Where I'm still going to be able to buy physical games until January 2028. And I don't know if there's going to be price increases in between that. My assumption is games will stay the same price. It doesn't affect me if the price of the PS5 goes up because I already have a PS5 and a PS5 Pro. So it's like I'm almost considering taking the PS5 to its end point. And then just from that point, seeing where it goes. Because by that point, there might genuinely be, like right now, it does feel a little bit forced. I'm not going to lie. It does feel forced for me to be like, I'm going to go play like, for example, Metal Gear, right? I feel kind of foolish if it's like, well, you're going to play Metal Gear. You want to play Metal Gear. That's one of my most anticipated games, the collection, the Volume 2 collection. There are like two ways. I mean, there are like three ways I can buy this game. I could buy the physical disc version for PlayStation 5. I could buy it digitally on PC. I don't know if they're making a physical copy for Xbox, but I don't even have an Xbox right now. So really, I only have two options. And that's why I'm like, as I really think about it, it's like, well, if the whole thing I'm advocating for is you want more, you want Sony to preserve physical games, is not, if I choose, like, I guess I'm just saying, if I just go all digital now, is that actually sending the right message? No, I don't know that I would quit console gaming. No, Erfan, when I say I take the PS5 to its endpoint, keep in mind the PS5, like, I'm looking at my PS5 Pro these days and I'm like, this thing is valuable now. I mean, it was always valuable, but I mean, like, dude, for all I know, the PS5 Pro is going to get every game for the next fucking 5 to 7 years. What I know, though, and here's the important part, Erfan. What I know is that January 2028, I no longer have the option to buy new games physically for my PS5 Pro if I choose to forego the PS6. So it creates a new fork in the road. We're like, okay, here are your options. Stay on PS5 Pro, all digital. Buy a PS6, all digital. Or go to PC, all digital. And I don't know. I mean, I get frustrated at that thought where I'm like, I just really thought it was going to be buy a PlayStation 6 and, you'll be one of the few that still buy physical games for it. And you'll take that to its endpoint. But everything will be digital anyway. Well, that's what I'm saying, Erfan. Like it I guess I'm saying that me putting my money, I know it's still going towards Sony, but that it's like that's not really the point. I'm putting my money towards the last batch of physical games as a means to, it's like it's the last ditch effort where like clearly Sony, as far as I can tell, Sony isn't going to reverse this decision. If they are planning to reverse it, they're hiding that pretty well. I understand that there's a perspective here. It's like, well, so you're still letting Sony win. And it's like this, I don't know that this is about a win or a loss as much as it seems like the only other thing I can maybe do. I don't know. Because I was on this whole thing about like, we got to hurt Sony. Sony's not going to get hurt. Like not in that way. I think Sony will get hurt. At the rate they're going, they're gonna have some problems. Who's this? Why are you getting pissed off? Well, it's all right. I appreciate you hanging out. Will Sony even receive the message? I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, it's like I said, I could, if I wanted to. And I have a lot of people encouraging me. There are absolutely people encouraging me. Like, trust me, there are people who are ready to straight up give me money to go to PC. I'm like, that's nice, but this isn't about attention. Like, trust me, I just wish people understood that if this was about a grift, literally you would see me right now on PC. You would see me putting out daily videos. You already know how it would be going. Okay? It's painfully obvious. And I can't deny that from a content creator perspective, if I wanted to go in that direction, oh yeah, it would benefit my channel greatly. It's not about that. I've always made a very serious declaration on this channel. Whether anybody chooses to believe it or not, that's up to them. But I've always made a very, very serious declaration that, like, if I lose the founding principle of what this channel, why I made it, then I can no longer do it. And that founding principle was I wanted to create a channel where I could share my passion with like-minded people and hopefully get good support doing it. I'm not saying there wasn't any ambition, but that was the founding principle. And, that passion was gaming. And there's just a part of me that, I mean, I know a lot of people are going to hate me for saying this. A lot of people are going to make fun of me for saying this, but it's true. It's like, I don't know that I'm going to, I just can't imagine myself. I can imagine myself playing games on PC. I can't imagine myself making that a place I actively go to play. Unless something very significant, even more significant happens. I mean, unless unless we really, what I had assumed will happen. I mean, we're looking at $80 games. We're looking at closed ecosystems. We're looking at you only get deals through PlayStation Plus. Stuff like this. Then I can imagine it. Bro, you're not a PC gamer, accept it. Well, I'm not. I'm literally not. There's a lot of people that want me to dip my toe in the water because they firmly believe, and I understand why. They firmly believe that I will like it better. And this is where it's like, I'm not going to say there isn't a possibility that I could like it better. But I think about that comment that guy left, and he was like, MBG only became he only became a PlayStation fan in 2019, and it's like, no, actually, that's not true at all. My deepest memories are with PlayStation, and it's hard, man. I guess this is why I got a little bit upset when I saw people kind of clowning me, and it's fine. Like, I'm not saying this for sympathy or anything. It's not that. I'm not going to get some. It's the internet. I'm not getting sympathy. I'm just saying it to you guys though, just to be transparent. I feel like the people who watch me, they deserve honesty. It's because, like, dude, I don't know. I look back and literally almost, not all, but almost all of my memories, like, that I can just immediately recall are all on PlayStation. Some of them are on Xbox 360. Certainly. There were some great memories on the 360. I have a couple on Nintendo. But, like, generally speaking, I'm talking memories with my cousin, memories with my friends growing up. And, I sit here and I just have to ask myself, it's like, if somebody told you right now, MBG, that this generation has been trash and they hated it, and it's the worst PlayStation generation ever, do you agree with that? I haven't agreed with that this entire time. What I can agree with is Sony seems to be fucking losing it. I can agree with that. Like, they're getting villainous, and I won't deny that. And I am upset with that. And I wish they would just stop, because it's like, I genuinely believe you're going to do damage to your brand. Like, you're not just your brand, but like you're damaging what could be, what's the word I want to look for? I don't want to make it sound too parasocial, but I want to keep it within reason. You're damaging the two-way street that has existed between your gaming platform and the people who are like me and many others. It's like, dude, I have decades worth of memories with this platform. I grew up with it, and I just spent the last 6 years enjoying a lot of it. And I that is hard to watch them do this in this sense, where it's like, and I people are like, oh, all just because of physical games. And it's like, it's not just that. It's what comes after that. That's actually even more concerning. Like, that's why some people were confused and were like, wait, MBG, I thought you were saying that I thought before you said that you expected this to happen at some point. I'm like, yeah, eventually. Obviously, I eventually expected a digital only future to be ushered in, because literally it's now down to 1% of people. That's that's crazy. Jesus is the best timing. To me, it's more concerning about, like, I don't know. I just think it's insane that they still haven't come out and said, listen, we know everybody's mad. Here are things we're going to do to make it better. And maybe that thing isn't, I want them to keep discs. I want physical games to remain. I just want it, I'm not the only one. But it's like, if this is how it's going to be for the entire industry, and there's nothing you, or anybody else can do about it, can we at least get some reassurances? And we're not getting that. And like, that's why I'm saying, like, even if I sit here and tell myself, like, oh, I'll support physical games until they're gone. I'll do my part. I'll send the message, and I'll continue to push back against this as long as I can. But it's like, that's why I was saying, you guys, the PS6 is going to be it's going to be very, very fascinating. Are you serious? The Call of Duty movie teaser just dropped. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. That's funny, man. When trust is broken, it's hard to go back. I have Soros, AC Resynced, and Cyberpunk all ready to go, but I don't feel like playing games. I mean, it feels, I don't know. It's like I said, it's such a bizarre dichotomy to witness where I feel like we have an incredible amount of games coming that all look amazing. And there's just this taint. This big taint overshadowing it. Or at the very least, it's lingering right behind it. There's a stench. But need to see what comes with it. Protections, refund policy, new features. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, God damn. I mean, maybe Sony is waiting to announce these things. Really, it's a 9-second teaser. Well, it just shows a logo, right? Call of Duty. The movie. I mean, maybe Sony is planning these things. And maybe they're not announcing them yet because it's like, well, yeah, we're going to announce these things as we get closer to announcing our plans for next gen. But I'm like, I don't know, man. People are scared. People are losing it now. But I don't know. I just have this fear with Sony at this point. Like, you know, I've been talking to you guys. I feel like Sony made this decision because they are certain they can get away with it because nobody's here to challenge them. Nobody's here to create any level of insecurity except the few people like myself who still care about physical games. And I think Sony looks at that as like, we can blow through that like a piece of tissue paper. Metal Gear Solid for Xbox, digital, $30. You're not talking about Volume 2. I think the Volume 2 collection is going to be $50. But, you know, it's just hard to put any genuine faith in PlayStation right now in doing the right thing. Like the right thing would be just satiate physical games for another gen. If they're refusing to do that, then the next right thing to do is, okay, then you need to give us better. You need to have a more pro-consumer and fair PlayStation Store experience that can try to match something like Steam, because Steam is considered the better alternative for a lot of people in a digital space. And it's like, if you can't do those things, that's, I think, going to be a problem. And we don't know. We like right now, we literally just have to have good faith. Like, PlayStation fans have to have good faith that, don't worry, Sony will do these things. And it's like, I don't know, man. There's a lot of things I thought Sony was going to do this gen that they haven't. There are things I thought they wouldn't do that they did do. So coming from that angle, it's like, I don't feel so sure. Got a bad feeling about this. But anyway, that ended up dominating the conversation again. All right. Erfan, I think it's about time. I'll play your song. We got Erfan dropped another, let me see here. This is the background music for my speech. I don't know, man. Oh, hold on. It's picking up. What'd Sony do? How could they do us like this? Just abandoning. Physical. Yeah, I still have that up, Cheese. I'll check that out. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking for something to watch later. How could they slap? How could they slap? How could they slap? How could they slap? Slap. Slap. They slap. Slap my physical games. What's up, MBG? I just found your channel. The devs, the test Gamepass video. Oh, thank you. What's up, man? We're just wrapping up this stream. I'm gonna have to retitle the stream. I'm gonna change that going forward. Oh. Erfan, what's great about your playing is it does come off as just kind of like ambient background music, like, you know, it kind of like meshes in well, I think. Oh, damn, we got a bucket head up in here. Like, why couldn't they just do limited run stuff and at least offer them to people who want it? Yeah, I know. I don't know, man. That's what I don't understand either. Like, why not have some kind of middleman take care of it? They don't even want that. That's what worries me. That's what worries me about it. Damn. Well, there we go. Another masterpiece by Erfan with his guitar playing. Very, very good, man. Very, very good. Thank you. He lost the nail on that one. His playing's getting more intense. He's losing his nails. Well, thank you for that, man. Yeah, it's definitely a vibe. I like it. I like it. I think that's going to be it, though, guys. If you want to drop any other support, do it right now, because we are in the outro, okay? Now's your last chance. I do want to thank everybody for their support. I am going to have to change the title. I'm just going to have to change it to... Maybe I can think of it now before I... MBG Live... I don't know what to say. I don't know what like I title it MBG Live. That's it? I don't know. Titus, you're saying use your milestone chat. Thank you, buddy. Been a member for 31 months. Always appreciate that. You're saying, MBG, don't you have a backlog to play? I have so many games to play until retirement without needing to buy new games. Wouldn't this be an option for you as well? Many older games are cheap. To an extent, yeah. Like there's definitely, I would say, a decently sized backlog that I could dip into, and it really depends on how far back we're looking. I guess the problem for me there is like I still feel the pull of newer games. You know, like I do still feel not fear. I feel the FOMO. I am affected by that. I notice it's less as I get older, but it's still pretty strong. So like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just the wrong type of person to be out here being like, I'm not doing nothing ever, because it's like, well, what are you gonna do instead? And it's like, yeah, there's a backlog I could dip into, but I don't know. I just look at games like Control Resonant, and I mean, even though Metal Gear's not new, it's it's like, damn, I finally being able to play Metal Gear outside of the PS3, stuff like that. It's just like, but Mortal Shell 2, I'm like, fuck, these games look awesome. Like I don't want to. Some of these games I could wait for, but some of them I don't know. The gamer in me is too weak. Fuck. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Titus. And Sayutaku with a $5 chat says, I respect your opinions and content. Keep your head up. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you for that $5 super chat. And oh, by the way, guys, Ray dropped the Discord link. Feel free to join my Discord. You don't have to be a member or anything to join the Discord. It's open for everybody. Just ask you to be polite to one another. And Ray did drop the P.O. box as well. If for some reason you want to send me something in the P.O. box, there it is. There's the address. I'm just going to title this MBG Live. PlayStation and Xbox discussions. There we go. That's a good one. Simple. Now I just have to change the thumbnail. Okay. I love how Prince G just comes in at the last second looking to troll. You know what, Prince G? I've had enough. He says, discs are cooked. MBG snowflakes cope. Whatever, man. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't hear nothing, Prince. Get out of here. I mean, I'll say that now because I am ending the stream. Literally, get out of here. All right. Thank you for being a member, though. 28 months. I appreciate that. Titus, there you go. I trust you. Mod responsibly, my friend. Okay? Don't make me regret my decision, Father Titus. Oh, my God. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your support today. Thank you for tuning in. If you dropped any support today, super chats, direct donations, memberships, thank you all so much. And when it comes to the memberships, like I said, if you are a channel member, please go consider going and checking out my members' first ever gameplay commentary, different type of content, very chill. I feel like some of you guys might like it. Go check that out and let me know what you think. And I also want to make sure to give a special shout out to Devil Shooter. Devil Shooter does the timestamps for the streams. If you guys see him in the comments with those timestamps, give him some thanks, show him some love. I know he appreciates it. And that's it. That wraps up today's stream. So, guys, thank you all so much for your support. Please stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or night. And I will catch you all in the next one. Okay, so until then, take care, everyone. Actually, hold on. Just wanted to make sure I didn't miss any direct donations. Sometimes they weren't like going off today. Okay, we're good. Hold on. Shadowlink said, wait. But ironically, I did end up waiting because I had to check the direct donos. But what's up, Shadowlink? I'll wait for you. All right. Oh, he says, wait, we got a shadow drop. Oh, whoa. Shadowlink got excited. He got excited. He heard me talk about my gameplay commentary, and he's like, yes. Shadowlink just drops 20 member gifts.
Holy shit.
I mean, that's pretty close, man. There was one time where I think maybe it was Silent Spartan. Somebody dropped member gifts like literally right before I hit end stream. Like my mouse was on it or my cursor was on it. This is pretty close to that. So Shadowlink says now you can end it. Thank you so much for that, man. That was very you didn't have to do that. I really appreciate that, bro. That was very kind of you. I know you like to do those spontaneous shadow drops. Seeing who, damn. Mini Tom's going to be upset. Mini Tom's going to be upset. He was hoping to get one. Sorry, Mini Tom. We'll keep trying for him. We'll keep trying. But there we go. Now I got to stay. No, Shadowlink said I can end it. He's like, it's good, bro. No, but let me just at least show you where we're at, though, so we can feel good about it. Look at this. 31. We hit 31 today. So we crushed the goal. All that catnip, all those treats I gave my cats. You did it. Thank you so much for that, guys. If you are in the chat right now and you just received a member gift, please go consider checking out my new members video. Like I said, we're going to have more members content coming, so you can look forward to that. If you guys do respond positively to member-only gameplay commentary, I'll try to keep making that a regular thing. I enjoy doing it, so that's why I keep emphasizing it. It was kind of fun for me. It's definitely different. I haven't really truly created like a different type. I'm not saying it was hard to do it, but I haven't created a different type of content in a long time. And I never felt comfortable with the idea of doing gameplay commentaries publicly because I feel like that's like old school YouTube. You know, it's like so old school. I'm like, I don't know that that's a thing. But for members content, I'm like, could fit perfectly. So we'll do that. We're going to have members lounges as well that are coming back. So just figured I would let you guys know that since 20 more were gifted. But that is it, guys. Okay. I should, as long as everything goes according to plan, I should be back here tomorrow with some more content for you guys, another stream. And yeah. So for real this time, please enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or night. And I will catch you all in the next one, okay? And because Gaming Survivor said he's taking a break, you can expect something cataclysmic to be announced tomorrow, and that'll be that, all right? So till then, take care, everyone.